And now the adventures of Superman. Deep mystery tinged with international intrigue shrouds the disappearance of a young war orphan named Bucky Taylor, son of a Daily Planet correspondent who was murdered by Nazi spies just before the war's end. Bucky became the charge of editor Perry White. And after arranging for the boy's passage back to America, White revealed the secret clouding his correspondent's death when he told Clark Kent and Lois Lane.
Hobie Taylor, Bucky's father, had just finished gathering the facts for a story of world-shaking importance when he was murdered. But Hobie was too smart to be stopped that way. And my hunch is that his boy Bucky is in possession of a clue that'll lead us to Hobie's story.
When Bucky's ship was due to arrive, White sent Kent and Lois to meet the boy. But when they arrived at the dock, Bucky was not among the disembarking passengers. Alarmed, they went directly to the captain's cabin aboard the liner, where we find them now talking to the skipper, who, in reply to Kent's query, solemnly says,
I'm sorry to report, Mr. Kent, that young Bucky Taylor is not aboard this vessel.
How is that possible, Captain Barker? His name's on the passenger list.
Yes, I know, but...
Don't tell us he got off the ship before you came through customs.
Oh, no.
Well, what did happen, Captain?
Well, prepare for a shock.
For heaven's sake, what is it?
Easy, Lois. Go on, Captain.
Well, I don't quite know how to say this, but...
Bucky died at sea.
Oh, no, nothing like that, Miss Lane.
Well, then where in heaven's name is he? What's happened to him?
That's it, Mr. Kent. I don't know.
What?
You don't know?
Exactly. I don't know where he is. Nor do I know what's happened to the lad.
But that's impossible.
Nevertheless, it's the truth.
Now, wait a minute. Let's get this thing straightened out. Was Bucky Taylor booked on this ship, Captain Barker?
Yes, he was.
Then where is he now?
Please, Lois, let me get these questions answered, and maybe we'll know what's going on.
Okay, Clark, but the answers had better be pretty good, or the chief will make an international incident out of this.
My dear friends, I assure you there's no
Forget
cause
that,
for...
Captain Barker. Let's get back to the mystery of Bucky Taylor's disappearance. You say he was booked for passage on this ship. Now, did he or did he not board this vessel before you sailed from Plymouth?
Yes, he did.
Good grief.
Bucky did board your ship, and yet he's not aboard. All right, when did he disembark?
I don't know.
Oh, now this is too much.
Lois, please. Now tell me this, Captain Barker. When did you first discover he wasn't aboard?
Our first night out.
First night?
Yes. You see, I was advised of the boy's identity, and of the fact that he was the charge of your editor, Mr. Perry White. So I arranged for the boy to be seated at my table.
I see.
Naturally, I thought nothing of it when he failed to appear for lunch. The excitement of sailing might have been too much for him. But when he wasn't present at dinner, I became alarmed and sent a steward to look after him.
And then you learned he was missing?
Yes. That is, I learned he wasn't in his cabin. I ordered an immediate and thorough search of the ship. Every nook and corner of this vessel was gone into by all hands. But no trace of the lad could be found anywhere.
Good heavens. Is it possible that he could have gone overboard?
No. That's quite impossible without his being spotted by one or more of the deckhands on watch.
Well, then, as I see it, there's only one explanation left.
What's that, Clark?
That, somehow, for some unknown reason, Bucky left the ship before it sailed from Plymouth.
That, Mr. Kent, is quite possible, and I might add the only reasonable answer.
But why? Why would he board the ship to sail for home, for America, and then suddenly leave the ship before it sails?
Well, that I don't know.
Nor do I.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Unless he was forced to do that.
Forced?
But by whom? And for what reason?
You remember what the chief told us, Lois, about Bucky's father?
Oh, you mean that...
I don't know, Lois. I'm just guessing, so skip it, at least right now. Tell me, Captain, did you advise your home office of the boy's disappearance?
Indeed I did. I radioed the London office at once. They instituted an immediate investigation in Plymouth, our port of embarkation.
And?
Nothing. They could find absolutely no trace of the boy.
Oh, Clark, now this gets worse all the time.
Yes, and it looks more and more like what I hope it isn't.
I don't quite follow you, Mr. Kent.
Oh, forget it, please. I suppose there's nothing more we can do right now except report this to the chief.
Your editor, Perry White?
Yes, poor guy. How he's been building himself up to seeing that kid.
Yes, I understand. By the way, I suppose you'll want to take the boy's luggage with you.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, there isn't much of it, just one valise and an old typewriter.
Oh, his father's, I guess.
Yes, it must be. Battered old portable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a steward get it out of the boy's cabin.
Oh, wait a minute. It's still in the cabin assigned to Bucky?
Why, yes, I had the door locked as soon as we learned of his disappearance.
Oh, well, if you don't mind, Captain, I'd like to have a look in there.
What for, Clark?
Oh, I don't know, just curious. How about it, Captain? Would that be too much trouble?
No trouble at all. I have the key here in my desk. I'll be glad to take you there.
Fine, let's go.
As I said, this door's been locked since the boy disappeared.
Uh-oh.
The cabin will probably not appear very fresh.
Worse than that, I'm afraid.
I beg your pardon.
What do you mean, Clark?
You'll see, Lois. Go on, Captain. Open the door.
Very well. By Joe,
You see?
someone's been in here.
That is an understatement.
Why, it looks like a tornado was swept through.
I can't understand this.
Pretty clear to me. Someone's gone through this cabin and everything in it with a fine-tooth comb.
And didn't miss a trick either. Look, pillows torn apart and the mattress is ripped open. The bureau drawers are all pulled
And look
out.
at that suitcase. Every inch of lining has been pulled out of the inside of it.
But who? Why?
Obviously, somebody was looking for something he expected to find in Bucky's luggage.
And ripped everything but the paper off the wall.
Everything but the typewriter. Look, it's open.
Well, what do you suppose whomever it was trying to find?
Clark, do you think it could have been the same?
Maybe yes, then again maybe no. Captain Barker, I think you should report this to the police at once.
You're quite right, Mr.
And while you're doing that, Miss Lane and I will collect young Taylor's effects and pack them as best we can for transportation to Mr. White.
Very good. I'll join you in a moment.
Thank you, Captain. Quick, Lois, close the door. Please, do as I say. Close the door.
There. Now, why all the hush-hush?
Have you forgotten the importance of the story Bucky's father was working on when he was murdered by Nazi spies?
Good heavens. Do you think that...
Yes, but they didn't get what they were looking for.
How do you know?
Because Hobie, who probably anticipated something like this, hid it too well. Look. See that thin outline on a square on the rubber roller of this typewriter?
Yes.
Now watch what happens when I pry it up with my penknife. Like this. There, you see?
Well, I'll be darned. Well, there's a folded piece of paper under it.
Right. And unless I miss my guess, Lois, that piece of paper is a clue that will lead us to Hobie's story. And, I hope, to whomever is holding young Bucky.
Clark Kent, how in the world did you know that paper was stuck where you found it? Certainly no one could see it without X-ray vision.
Oh, now, look, Lois.
And that reminds me. You indicated that you knew the condition of this cabin before Captain Barker even opened that door.
I did?
Yes, you did.
I was just guessing, I guess.
I don't know about that, Clark. It seems to me
now
that
look
there
here,
can-
Lois. That's not important right now. Are you or are you not interested in the contents of this piece of paper?
Well, yes. Of course I am.
All right, then let's open
but-
it and see what it says.
Well, all right. But I'll come back to this some other time. Well, what does it say?
Nothing much, just a name and an address.
Name and address.
Philippe, 25 Rue Frontenac.
Rue Frontenac.
Yes.
Why, it sounds as if it must be Paris.
Sure, any other city in France.
Or in Quebec, Canada, for that matter, or Belgium.
Well, Canada's ruled out. It must be in Europe because that's where Hobie was working. Well, my guess is this place is somewhere in France.
Even at that, it isn't much of a clue. France is a big country, you know. Lots of territory to cover.
I can cover it pretty fast, though.
You can what?
Never mind. Come on, Lois. Let's get out of here.
But Clark, aren't you getting into the taxi with me?
No, Lois. You zip back to the planet and report the story of Bucky's disappearance to the chief.
And what, may I ask, are you going to do? Take a trip to France, maybe, to track down that clue?
Could be, Lois. Could be.
What? Now look here, Clark.
Daily Planet driver, and make it fast.
As the taxi bearing Lois Lane drives off, Clark Kent ducks into a narrow space between two buildings. There, he quickly rips off his street clothes and stands revealed as Superman.
Now for a quick trip to France to find this mysterious Philippe at 25 Rue Frontenac. And I hope I'm not too late to find young Bucky Taylor. Up! Up! And away!
Bonjour, monsieur.
How do you do? My name is Clark Kent. Are you the proprietor?
Oui, I am the proprietor.
Oh, good. Look, I'm looking for
A little dog, perhaps.
No, you see,
I have some fine little dogs, très belles et très jolies. If you will come this way...
No, look, I don't want a dog, thank you. I'm looking
Not a
for
dog,
man,
then perhaps a little cat. Eh?
No.
I have the Siamese, the
No,
Persian.
look, I
have
don't want a cat either. If you'll please just listen a moment.
Voila, I have it. Monsieur desires a monkey.
No, please, no monkey,
Eh?
no dog, no cat, no goldfish. I'm looking for a man.
A man, monsieur?
Yes, a man. Un homme. A man named Philippe.
Philippe? What is his last name, monsieur?
That I'm afraid I don't know. But his address is 25 Rue Frontenac.
25 Rue Frontenac. This is my address.
I know, that's why I came here. May I ask your name?
Mais certainement, I am Jean Manet.
I see. Well, may I ask, Monsieur Manet, how long have you been in business at this address?
Oh, many years, since the end of the First World War.
Well, have you ever had a clerk or a partner or anyone else here by the name of Philippe?
Never. May I inquire, monsieur, why you ask for this Philippe? Are you perhaps of the gendarmerie?
The police?
Yes.
Oh, no. No, but it's important that I find this man, Philippe, because he may be able to help me find a certain boy.
A boy?
Yes, a boy named Bucky Taylor. Have you ever heard of him?
Okay. Never, monsieur.
I see. Well, thanks very much, Monsieur Manet.
Oh, it is nothing, monsieur.
I may be back to see you again.
I regret I cannot help you, monsieur.
Goodbye.
Bonjour.
Well, maybe this fellow was telling the truth, and maybe he wasn't. So I think I'd better check up on him at police headquarters. Taxi! So you see, Lieutenant, I must find this man Philippe, because he may know what happened to Bucky Taylor.
I understand, Monsieur Kent. You believe the proprietor of the pet shop Manet perhaps lied to you when he denied knowledge of the man Philippe?
I'm not saying that, but his shop is at 25 Rue Frontenac, the address written on the slip of paper I found in Hobie Taylor's old typewriter. And that's the only clue I have. So I thought you might be able to tell me about the pet shop man, his character and so on.
Well, as you see, I have the dossier on Jean Manet right here. And he appears to be a man of estimable character.
Where does that leave me? And Philippe, whoever he is, and Bucky Taylor. You see, Lieutenant, not only do I want to find Bucky because I'm concerned for the boy's safety, but also we think he knows about the story his father turned up, a story which he said would affect the future of the entire world. Bucky's father was shot to keep him from revealing that story, and we want to know what it was.
Oh, naturally, monsieur. If there is anything I can do...
Well, there may be something you can do, Lieutenant.
Huh?
It's occurred to me that there is probably a 25 Rue Frontenac in other French cities.
Ah, oui, that is so, monsieur.
Well, then you might have directories here of French towns and maps, if I may go through them.
An excellent idea, monsieur. Come with me. I myself will aid you.
Thank you.
This way. Here, Monsieur Kent, is another Rue Frontenac in Le Havre.
Le Havre, eh?
Oui.
We found one in Marseille. That makes two. How many large towns are left?
None, only the small villages. And for most of them, there are no street guides or directories.
Well, let's hope I find my man in Marseille or Le Havre. Thanks very much, Lieutenant. I'll let you know how I come out.
But wait, monsieur. I will telegraph the authorities in Marseille and Le Havre. They will investigate the Rue Frontenac addresses in their cities.
No, don't bother, Lieutenant. I can cover them faster myself.
You? You can travel hundreds of miles faster than the telegraph? Huh? What is this you say, monsieur?
That's a little secret of my own. I'll be seeing you, Lieutenant. So long. Nobody behind this store. Good. Off for these clothes. Now, as Superman, I'll try Marseille first. There we are, all set. Up and away! This door plate says Dr. Bonnard. No first name. Well, maybe it's Philippe. Oh, here comes somebody.
Bonjour, monsieur.
How do you do? Are you Dr. Bonnard?
Oui, you wish to be
Dr.
examined.
Philippe Bonnard?
No, I am André Bonnard.
Uh-oh.
You are seeking a Dr. Philippe Bonnard, monsieur.
Well, I don't know. That is, I don't know if he's a doctor or not.
But then why do you come to
I'm
me?
looking for a man named Philippe, whose last name I do not know, but who lives at 25 Rue Frontenac.
This address is 25 Rue Frontenac.
Yes.
There is no one here of the name of Philippe.
Are you sure, Doctor?
Mais certainement, c'est all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have explained. You see, I'm an American newspaper reporter, and it's very important that I find this fellow Philippe. As I say, I only know that he lives at 25 Rue Frontenac.
Well, he does not live here, monsieur, nor has he ever lived here.
I see. Tell me, Dr. Bonnard, have you ever heard of Bucky Taylor?
Bucky Taylor? No.
You positive?
I have told you, monsieur, I know nothing of these people you inquire about, nor do I like being questioned. I'm a busy man.
All right, I'm sorry. Forgive me for troubling you, Doctor. Goodbye.
Bonjour.
Well, it drew another blank, so back to my Superman identity. I'll try Le Havre now, and if that doesn't pan out, I'll have to search every town in France and Belgium. All set now for Le Havre. Up and away! Hello, my name is Clark Kent. I'm an American newspaper reporter, and I'm looking for a man named Philippe. Do you have anyone with that name staying with you, Monsieur Doriot?
Philippe?
Yes.
What is his family name, monsieur?
That I do not know.
Well, there are many with the name Philippe.
Yes, but there's only 125 Rue Frontenac in Le Havre. Tell me, please, is there a man named Philippe living here?
Oui, there is such a one.
There is?
Oui, Philippe Dulac, but...
Dulac, is he in now?
Oui, but...
Take me to him, please, or tell me where his room is.
But if you do not know his full name, or even what it looks
It's
like...
extremely important. Please take me to him. Oh, here. Here's something for your trouble.
Oh, merci, monsieur, merci. Come, I will take you to Philippe Dulac. Follow me, please. It is a long climb to the attic, Monsieur Kent, but here... We come now to Monsieur Dulac's room.
Is that his room straight ahead?
Oui, that is it.
Great Scott!
What is it, Monsieur?
Something's happened in that room. Come on, Monsieur Doriot. Open the door. Hurry!
Look, Monsieur Doriot. On the floor. Sacre bleu. He lies on his face, and see his arms and legs are bound.
Yes, obviously somebody got here before we did. Now, if only he's alive.
Well, does he live, Monsieur Kent?
Yes. Yes, he's breathing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'll turn him over.
Careful, Monsieur.
The poor fellow, he's been gagged, too. What the?
No. That is not Philippe Dulac.
You're telling me I know this man. I know him well.
Who is he?
This man is Herbert Calkins of Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard?
Yes, but how did he get here? Who knocked him out and tied him up? And what's happened to Philippe Dulac?
Mon Dieu, this is not Philippe.
No, this is Herbert Calkins of Scotland Yard.
In astonishment, Kent stared down at Herbert Calkins, the famous Scotland Yard detective, who once had almost succeeded in revealing his identity as Superman. And as we continue now, Kent has placed the stocky middle-aged detective on a couch, and freeing him of a gag and bonds, has succeeded in reviving him. Listen.
Now, take it easy, Mr. Calkins. Everything's under control. Water, Doriot.
Oui.
Quickly, please.
Here it is, monsieur.
Thanks. Drink this, Calkins. No, easy.
I cannot comprehend, Monsieur Kent. How came this man, who you say is a great English detective, to be here?
You got me, but we ought to know the answers in a moment. Hey, feel better now, Calkins?
Yes, Kent. By Jove, Clark Kent.
Right. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I asked you first. Well, I came here to find a man named Philippe, and
You did? So did I.
You both seek the same man. But where is Philippe?
That's what I want to know. Just let me...
No, wait a minute. Don't get up yet, Calkins. Better rest a moment.
I'm all right now, Kent. The blighter rapped me on the head with a belly blackjack or something.
Who did? Philippe?
Oh, no, old chap. Someone else, but more of that later. Let's see about Philippe. Where is he? What happened to him?
I do not know.
No, do I. I came up here to find him and found you.
I must say I was certainly played for a sucker, as you Americans say. What?
You should say you were.
Hey, hold on. You. Who are you?
I am Doriot, monsieur.
The proprietor of this rooming house.
Well, look here, Doriot. What do you know about Philippe Dulac's disappearance?
I know nothing,
Oh,
monsieur.
come now, my man.
I swear it, monsieur. I brought up this gentleman, Monsieur Kent, to call on Philippe Dulac.
That's right. Now, listen, Mr. Calkins.
Wait, Kent. Tell me, Doriot. So far as you know, was Philippe here when I came up? That was, let's see, a little after 3 o'clock?
I do not know, monsieur. I was then at the market.
Well, see here. Will you be good enough to wait downstairs, my man? I want to speak to Mr. Kent privately.
Oui, monsieur. I will be downstairs.
Good. And close the door after you, please. That's a good chap.
Oui.
Now, Kent.
Wait a minute, Mr. Calkins. Before we do any talking, we'd better contact the Le Havre police.
Not yet, old boy. This is not a job for the police.
Well, of course it is. Somebody, not Philippe, you say, knocked you out.
Yes.
Well, the same person might have done something to Philippe and taken him away. I've got to find him.
Quite, old boy, quite. And I must find him, too.
Well...
But believe me when I say we can't call in the French police yet.
Why? What do you mean?
Tell me first why you came all the way from America to find this man, Philippe.
Well, all right. I'm looking for a boy named Bucky Taylor who boarded the liner Nautilus in England but disappeared the first day out.
Disappeared? You mean overboard?
No, I don't think so. I think he was lured from the ship or forcibly taken from it before it sailed.
I see. Now, what has all this to do with Philippe?
I'm coming to that. Bucky's cabin had been thoroughly searched, ripped apart. But I found a slip of paper hidden in the roller of an old typewriter which had belonged to Bucky's father. And Philippe's name was written on it, together with the address 25 Rue Frontenac.
Right, Jove. You say you found this slip of paper in the boy's father's typewriter?
That's right. You see, Hobie Taylor was a crack foreign correspondent for the Daily Planet who was murdered by the Nazi Gestapo in Sweden just before the war ended.
Yes?
And get this, Calkins. Just before Hobie was killed, he told my editor, Perry White, on the transatlantic telephone that he had hold of a sensational story that would affect the future of the entire world after the war.
I see.
And here's the payoff. From something Hobie said, Mr. White is sure that Hobie's son, Bucky, knows something about that story.
Really? He does?
Yes. I think his knowledge of that story, whatever it is the reason for Bucky's disappearance.
You know, Kent, it must be the same story I'm after.
You? You're after Hobie's
Yes. Now, look, Kent.
What?
This is in strictest confidence, you understand?
You can trust me.
I know I can, so listen. We at Scotland Yard have reason to believe that a gigantic plot is in progress against the World Peace Organization.
What? By whom?
We have very little information, and I'm not at liberty to tell you what we do have, except this. We are quite certain that a person known only as the Man Without a Face is behind it.
A man without a face? What are you talking about?
The Man Without a Face is the most dangerous man in the world. We don't know who he is or where he is. We only know that he has a tremendous amount of money and influence, and that he's on the wrong side of the law.
You say this unknown character is behind a plot against the World Peace Organization?
Yes, that much we're certain of. And as I say, now I think your chap Hobie Taylor had this same story with full details and was killed to keep him from revealing it.
Why do you say that?
Because the trail I'm following led to this man, Philippe, too.
Oh?
But you understand this, Kent. Philippe is on our side.
Well, that's fine. Now, just who is he?
That I am not at liberty to reveal. Take my word for it, he's on our side. I had an appointment to see him here today at 3 o'clock.
But when you got here, somebody knocked you out.
Right, just as I entered the room. I didn't even get a look at the blighter. First time anything like this has ever happened to me, by Jove.
Well, never mind that now. It seems our immediate job is to find Philippe.
Right, old boy. But I'm afraid we'll never find Philippe, no.
Why do you say that?
Because Philippe knew too much, you see. And I'm afraid he's been done in by representatives of the Man Without a Face.
Well, then how'll we find Bucky and get his story?
I don't know, old chap.
Come on, let's search this room.
If you insist.
I do insist. It's our only hope. Come on, start looking. Well, that's that, Mr. Calkins. There's nothing in this room to give us a lead.
As I was sure there wouldn't be, Kent, old man.
Well, then where do we go from here?
That's a bit of a poser, old chap.
But we can't just give up. I won't give up. There's too much at stake.
I quite agree.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something.
Yes, well, what's that?
Philippe must have known he was mixed up in a dangerous business.
Of course he did.
And that he himself was in danger. So it seems to me he would have left something behind, some clue, just in case anything happened to him.
But we've just searched this room from stem to stern, old boy, and we've turned up exactly nothing.
So he didn't leave anything in this room. But he might have left it someplace else. Say, maybe Doriot would know.
Doriot? Oh, the proprietor of this pension?
Yes, he's downstairs. Come on, let's ask him.
Monsieur Kent, Philippe left with me a small trunk. It is in the cellar.
I see, that's a splendid bit of luck.
Yes, will you show it to us, Monsieur Doriot?
Well, after all, monsieur, it is the private property of Philippe and
But if something happened to him, as we
See
think...
here, my man. Have a look at my credentials. As you can see, I'm from Scotland Yard.
I see. Well, there can be no great harm, perhaps, in showing you the trunk. Come then.
Good. Come on, Mr. Calkins. And keep your fingers crossed, as we say in America.
This is the trunk of Philippe Dulac, monsieur. The one he have asked me to keep safe for him.
It'll be safe enough with us, my man. We just want to go through it. See if you can open it, Kent.
Right. Yeah, there we are.
Empty, by Jove.
Oui, it is empty.
Not quite, Mr. Calkins.
How can you say that, old chap? It's obviously as empty as Mother Hubbard's cupboard.
You're wrong. What's that? Eh?
Sounded like a window going up.
Yes. Calkins! Doriot! Look out! Mr. Calkins! Monsieur Doriot, are you all right?
Oui, I think so.
Say, Kent, what happened?
Somebody threw a cellar window open and heaved a hand grenade at us.
Sacre bleu.
You should say, who was it?
I don't know who he was, but it's plain he didn't want us to see what was in the trunk.
Oui, that is so.
Hey, but the trunk was empty.
Oh, no, it wasn't, Calkins.
I show you. I say, where is the blooming trunk?
Blown to smithereens.
What?
That's right.
But, look here, old chap. We were bending over the trunk. If it was blown up by the blasted grenade, how is it we weren't blown up with it?
Why, you see...
It is a miracle.
Yes, I guess Doriot's right. It was a miracle.
Wait. I remember that suddenly you, Kent, called out. Then you threw Dorio and me to the floor and sprawled over us.
That is right.
Well, never mind that now. We were lucky,
Lucky, eh? You know, Kent, I'm once again beginning to think that you, old bean, are Superman.
Oh, please don't be silly, Mr. Calkins. I thought you'd got over that nonsense in Metropolis.
Well, you may have fooled me in the Metropolis, but
Forget that nonsense. Please, the police and fire department are coming, and that means a big crowd. Let's get rid of them as quickly as possible, because I've got something important to tell you about Philippe's trunk.
Kent, the police are gone now. So tell me what you said you know about Philippe's trunk.
Well, there were 2 snapshots in it.
Mm-hmm. Snapshots? In the trunk?
That's right.
Are you certain, old boy? I didn't see them.
Well, they were under the lining, you see, and there was
the lining, eh? And you saw them.
The lining of the trunk was torn, and I just happened to see the snapshot stuck in one corner. Yes, and what's more, I got a pretty good look at them.
Good. Recognize anybody you know?
One of them was a snap of Hobie Taylor and a young boy, probably Bucky.
And the other?
I don't know who he was, but I can describe him accurately. And if I can find a good artist, we ought to be able to get a fair likeness of the fellow.
Splendid idea, by Jove.
Now the question is, where can we find an artist?
Well, that should be no great problem here, old man.
Oh, probably
As a
not.
matter of fact, our friend Dorio may be able to direct us to one.
Fine, let's get moving right away, while the details are still clear in my mind. Yes, and let's see. A very high forehead, deep-set eyes, strong cheekbones, wide, thin-lipped mouth, what might be termed a cruel mouth. Have you got all that, Henri?
Oui, Monsieur Kent. You have an excellent memory for detail.
Thanks. Can you picture him in your mind?
Oui. I will attempt to make a sketch of this man now.
Good.
Do it as quickly as you can, like a good fellow.
Oui, tout suite, Monsieur.
I hope this works out, Mr. Calkins, so that it gives us a lead to the whereabouts of both Bucky Taylor and Philippe.
I jolly well do too, Kent. You see, I hadn't intended to tell you this, but since we pooled our resources, so to speak, I think you ought to know that Philippe was attached to the British Intelligence Service.
That's no surprise. I suspected something like that.
Really? Well, he was working on the case I told you of. The plot against the World Peace Organization, which we have reason to believe is sparked by a person known as the Man Without a Face.
And he must have had some contact with Hobie Taylor, the murdered Daily Planet correspondent, which is why his name was on the slip of paper I found hidden in Hobie's typewriter.
Righto.
What's more, I firmly believe Bucky disappeared because he knew about his father's story, too. So the same fellows who took Philippe away and tried to blow us up must have Bucky.
I agree.
Now we've got to find them and get their story.
But how? We have no clues.
Well, the snapshot in Philippe's trunk may be just what we need. How are you coming, Henri?
Regardez this sketch, please, Monsieur Kent.
Wicked-looking chap. Does this look like the man in the snapshot, Kent?
Yes, it does. Just about, except... Let's see, I think his chin was a little longer.
Longer?
Yes.
Like this, Monsieur.
That's better, Henri. Now, there was a deep line between his eyes, right here.
Oui. I will sketch it in.
By Jove, I don't see how you can remember all that from just a glance, old boy. It's amazing.
Well,
now, Monsieur.
Good. Now you've got him down to a T, Henri.
Yeah, I am glad.
Do you recognize this fellow, Mr. Calkins?
Never saw him in my life. A wicked but rather distinguished-looking bloke, eh? What?
Oh, he is like the devil, that one.
You're right, Henri. Mr. Calkins, I suggest we take the sketch to police headquarters on a chance that they may know him.
Just what I was going to suggest, old boy.
How much do we owe you, Henri?
Well, Monsieur, I do not know. Whatever you say, Monsieur.
All right, here. Take this $50. You've earned it.
Merci, Monsieur, merci.
Thank you, and goodbye. All right, Calkins, next stop, police headquarters. You're sure you never saw the man in this sketch before, Captain?
I am positive, Monsieur Kent. A face such as this one, I would never forget.
Uh-oh.
Nor, as I have said, is this man in our dossier de criminel.
That's what you American chaps call the rogues gallery, Kent.
Yes, I know. Well, where do we go from here, Calkins?
Oh, you've got me, old chap. Looks as if we were up a dead-end street again. What?
I regret I cannot help you, monsieur.
Oh, you've done what you could, Captain.
I say, I have an idea, Kent.
We need one badly.
I suggest we have photographs made of this blooming sketch and have it published in all the papers. Follow me?
Swell. We can ask anyone who might recognize our man to communicate with us. Perhaps even offer a reward for information.
Righto.
Let's also send photographs to every central police department in the world.
Good. Come on, old boy. We'll find a photographer and get busy. This may turn the trick. I say, kid, stop pacing the floor like a blooming lion, will you? Bothers me, you know.
Sorry, but I'm worried, Mr. Calkins. I had hoped that someone would have recognized that sketch by now and called us.
Frankly, so did I, but all in good time, old boy.
Time is what there isn't much of.
I know, but we'll keep the picture running in the French papers and send it on to England and the continent tomorrow. We're not licked yet, by Jove.
I don't know. Bucky's been missing for over a week, and now Philippe's gone. If this clue doesn't pan out, where are we?
No place, old chap, no place. But it's always darkest before the dawn, you know.
Platitudes like that don't make the suspense more bearable.
Relax while I have a shower. Always think best when I'm showering. I'll be with you directly.
Okay. No, why doesn't somebody call? Why is it that... Oh, there's the phone now. Hello?
I wish to speak with Monsieur Kent or Monsieur Galtier.
Well, this is Clark Kent. Who's calling?
My name is Jean Benoit.
Yes?
It is you who will pay for information about one whose photograph appears in the newspaper.
Yes, I'll pay very well. Can you tell me anything about the man in the photograph?
Oui, I know that one.
You do? Who is he? Where can I find...
Monsieur. You say you will pay money for such information, and me, I am poor.
Well, yes, but
Also, it is dangerous to speak of that one in the photograph. You understand, monsieur?
Oh, yes, I understand. Will you come to my hotel?
No. I cannot come to your hotel, monsieur.
Why not?
I was in the last war, and, well, I am unable to walk, you see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we'll come to you then. Where are you?
We, monsieur, who are we?
Mr. Calkins and myself.
Bien. But remember, there must be only the two of you, because I endanger my life when I give this information. It is only because I am very poor that I take the chance.
I assure you, there'll be just the two of us. Tell me, where can we see you?
Come to 12 Rue Marguerite.
12 Rue Marguerite?
Oui, it is a small house near the Great Arbor.
We'll find it. You may expect us there right away.
Bien. You will bring money with you, monsieur.
Yes, of course I will. We'll be right along. Goodbye.
Au revoir, monsieur. I await you.
Calkins, get out of that shower and get dressed. Hurry, man, hurry!
Please tell me again what this chap said on the phone, Kent, and do try to remember everything.
Well, there isn't much to remember, Mr. Calkins. He just said his name was Jean Benoit.
Benoit?
Yes, Benoit. He said he'd been injured in the war and wasn't able to walk, which is why he couldn't come to our hotel to see us.
He claims to know the man in our sketch, eh?
That's right. Said the fellow was very dangerous and he was taking his life in his hands to talk to us.
I see. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Sounds a bit fishy, old chap. My feeling is that we may be walking into a trap.
Could be. An attempt was made on our lives yesterday, so we must be marked men.
I say, you are a cool one. Look, what if Benoit is working for the man without a face?
Well, that's all right, too, because then we'll have our hands on one of the gang and so be able to get to the others, and to Bucky and Philippe.
True, but we may also end up in the blooming harbor with a couple of knives in our back.
Well, we'll worry about that when the time comes.
You know, old boy, either you're as plucky as they come or my original suspicions were correct. I mean, about you being Superman.
Oh, here we go again. When are you going to throw away that record, Calkins?
Not until I'm thoroughly convinced that you are or are not, by Jove.
Frankly, my dear old bean, you're becoming a bit of a bore on that subject.
I'm sorry. I promise not to mention it again, at least for the present.
That'll be a relief. Oh, boy, what a four-wheel stop that was.
Voilà, we arrive, messieurs.
Lucky.
10 francs, s'il vous plaît.
Eh? Oh, we're here.
Right, 12 Rue Marguerite. You can make out the number in that little stone house.
Seedy-looking street, what?
Yes, it is. Right, here you are, driver. Keep the change.
Oh, merci, monsieur, merci. Pardon, monsieur, but if I may say so...
Yes?
You are clearly strangers to Le Havre, so I warn you to proceed with care in this neighborhood. It is not, healthy for one with money in his pocket or a good coat on his back, particularly at night, as now.
Really? Well, thanks very much, driver. Come on, Calkins.
One moment, Kent. Driver.
Monsieur?
Do you know anything of this house here, number 12?
No, but Rue Marguerite, I know it.
Yes, we get it. Thanks again, driver. Come on, let's go, Hawkshaw.
I wish you wouldn't call me that silly name. Sounds like a blinking penny thriller.
I wish you wouldn't call me you-know-what.
Touché.
Well, everything looks peaceful enough.
Too peaceful, by Jove. I wish I knew what was waiting for us inside this house.
Let's ring the bell and find out.
One moment. I just transfer my gun to my overcoat pocket. There. Ready now, old chap. Just leave the rough stuff to me.
Oh, sure.
Come along, then. Here we are. old boy. Steady now. I'll ring the bell.
Go ahead.
Now stay behind me, Kent, and remember, leave everything to me.
You're such a comfort, old man.
Personally, I'd feel more comfortable with two stout British bobbies by my side. Why doesn't somebody answer? I'll ring again.
Never mind, here comes someone.
How do you know?
How? Can't you hear?
Oh, yes.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Good evening. We've come to see Jean Benoit. My name is Calkins. This gentleman...
Alors, entrez. Tout de suite.
I know. Come along, Kent.
Okay.
Are you Monsieur Benoit?
No, I am Francois. Benoit waits for you inside.
Ugly customer, what?
Yes, so's the other one.
What other one?
Follow me, s'il vous plaît. I will take you to Benoit. This way.
Every sense alert, Clark Kent and Herbert Calkins follow the tall, surly Francois up a narrow, dimly lit flight of stairs and into a room which is furnished only with a couch, a flimsy table, and a rickety kitchen chair. A small oil lamp on the table illuminates a thin-faced, unshaven young man with a thin, slit mouth and sharp eyes who lies on the couch half covered by a dirty blanket. He wears a frayed turtleneck jersey.
Are you Jean Benoit?
Oui.
My name is Calkins, and this is Clark Kent.
How do you do? We'd like to...
Francois, you would keep watch at the door.
Oui, I understand.
So do I.
Eh? What do you say, Kent?
We must speak quickly, gentlemen. I take my life in my hands when I permit you to come here. Tell me, have you brought money for me?
You'll get your money when you parlez-vous, my man. You say you know the chap in the sketch?
Oui, I know him.
Who is he?
He's one who is very dangerous, monsieur.
What's his name?
His name is... Now, Francois!
Oui, I'm here, Jean.
Look out, Kent! He's got a gun!
Great Scott! Francois! The lamp! Where is the lamp? I cannot see.
You founders, Kent! Kent, be careful, Kent!
You're going to shoot us in the back, St. Francois. Pleasant dreams, my friend. Calkins, where are you?
Steady on, Kent, old bean. Be right with you. Now, you, take this! That takes care of Benoit. Now, where's the other blighter?
I think he's lying over here.
Half a sec, old chap. I have a pencil flashlight in my pocket. Here we are. Now, where... I say, this other bounder Francois is out cold.
Well, maybe he ran into the wall.
What? Say, where are you, Kent?
Behind this table.
So, you were hiding behind the table, eh?
Well, not exactly hiding.
I see. Anyhow, it was downright clever of you to knock that lamp to the floor just when Benoit was drawing his blooming gun.
Oh, thanks, old man, thanks.
Would you really have me believe that this blighter Francois ran his head into the wall and knocked himself out, eh?
Well, I guess we were pretty lucky, eh?
Very lucky. Tell me, are you sure Francois didn't run into your fist?
Into my fist?
Either you fooled me again and Superman saved my hide just now.
Superman?
Or else it's as you say, we were lucky.
Of course we were lucky. But look, Calkins, let's not waste time. These fellows tried to ambush us. That means they must know we're looking for Bucky Taylor and Philippe. And...
Wait, Kent.
Uh-oh.
Benoit's coming too. Come over here.
What are you going to do?
Try to make him talk. Here, shine this flashlight on his face.
Okay.
Now, keep it on him. We may be able to scare him into talking before he recovers his wits. Come on now, my man. Snap out of it. We have some questions to ask you. Talk fast, Benoit. Who is the man in the sketch?
I do not know.
Don't lie or it'll go hard on you, my man. You tried to ambush us tonight.
No.
And we know all about you. We know there's nothing wrong with your legs. You can walk.
No,
You took Philippe away yesterday, didn't you?
No.
Where is he? Where's Bucky Taylor?
I tell you, I know nothing, monsieur, nothing.
Do you see this gun, Benoit?
No, do not shoot.
And talk. Who's the man in the sketch?
I swear it, I do not
Now,
know.
listen.
I know only that Francois and I were approached by a man on the dock. He gave us money to go into the room of the man known as Philippe.
Who was this man?
I do not know. I swear I do.
Now, look here, my man.
Maybe he doesn't know, Calkins. What did you do to Philippe, Benoit?
We took him to the warehouse on the docks below here.
A warehouse below here, eh?
Oui, that is all I know. I swear it, monsieur. Only that the man then told us to phone you at the hotel to lure you here under the pretense of knowing him of the sketch in the papers
and getting rid of us, eh?
Oui. I did not wish to do it.
You bounder. Now listen. Here, where are you going, Kent?
To the warehouse. You get these fellows to the police, Calkins.
But wait, come back here.
No
Kent.
time. See you later.
This is Herbert Calkins speaking. Are you there?
Yes, this is Clark Kent. Listen, Calkins.
Kent, where are you, old boy?
At the General Hospital with Philippe.
Philippe? You mean you found him?
Yes, in an old warehouse. He'd been shot.
Oh, I say, is he...
He's alive, all right, but in pretty bad shape. So you better get over here as soon as possible if you want to talk to him.
I'll be there directly, old chap, directly.
Good. You'll find me in the waiting room on the 4th floor. Hurry, Calkins. Hurry.
There you are, Kent. I got here as soon as possible.
Sit down, Calkins.
Sit down. What about Philippe?
It's touch and go with him.
Really? That bad?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they're giving him a blood transfusion now.
Poor chap. I say, was he able to tell you anything?
No, he was unconscious when I found him. The doctor says he may or may not revive and be able to answer questions.
By Jove, he must revive and talk to us, old boy.
Yes, sure, but
this is terrible. Why, it means...
It means we can't rest all our hopes on him. Now, look, what about those 2 rascals who tried to do us in tonight? Benoit and his helper. Were you and the police able to get any more out of them?
Not much, Kent, unfortunately.
Uh-oh, that's bad.
They say they were hired by a man they don't know to knock out Philippe and bring him to the warehouse, where they turned him over to the same fellow and received 100 francs each.
I see. Then they got orders to take care of us, eh?
Right. Incidentally, we grilled Benoit and Francois about the chap in the sketch we published, the one whose picture you saw in Philippe's trunk.
Yes? What did they say about him?
Nothing. Insisted they never saw the bloke in their lives.
Oh, then everything depends on Philippe, and unless he lives... Oh, wait a minute, Calkins. Here comes the doctor.
Ah, good.
Well, doctor?
Aye, you are Monsieur Kent. I've come to tell you the patient regained consciousness.
Oh, good.
Splendid. Take us to him, old chap.
Very well. But hear me, messieurs. The patient, Philippe Dulac, is in a critical condition. It is only because you, Monsieur Kent, explained to me how important it is that I permit you to question him.
We understand, doctor.
So you will be as brief as possible, eh?
Of course, doctor, of course.
Bien. Come with me, then.
But Calkins, I must see Calkins.
I'm right here, Philippe, old chap.
Calkins, it is really you.
Right. Sorry to see you in this beastly mess, old boy.
Listen, we were right about the plot against the World Peace Organization.
Yes, what about it?
The details I know not, but this I know. It is of such a magnitude that if it succeeds, the World Peace Organization will be ruined, and all the world plunged again into bloody war.
We know that, Philippe, but
only one man can tell you of the plot. Him you must find, and at once.
Righto.
Who is this person, Philippe?
A young boy, the son of an American newspaper correspondent who was killed by the Nazi Gestapo.
You mean Bucky Taylor?
Oui, Bucky Taylor.
By Jove, you were right, Kent.
Where is Bucky, Philippe?
10 days ago, he sailed on the liner Nautilus for America. I have just discovered this.
But he disappeared from the boat, Philippe.
Huh? Disappeared, you say?
That's right, didn't you know?
No, I did not.
Kent here thinks, and I agree, that he was taken from the boat before it sailed. Now,
sacre bleu. It must be the man without a face who have him, then.
What about this bounder without a face?
Yes. Who is he?
Nobody know, monsieur.
Nobody?
No. It is said that even those closest to him have never seen him.
I say.
But hear me, Calkins. In my trunk, stored in the cellar at 25 Rue Frontenac, is a photograph of a man who resembled the devil himself.
Not anymore, old chap. You see, the trunk...
Never mind, Calkins. Go on, Philippe.
Trace him in the photograph. Find him, and it is my belief you will find the man without the face, and the boy, Bucky Taylor.
Oh, but...
You see, I have good reason to suspect that he of the photograph and the man without a face are one and the same.
What? But this chap has a face.
Oui. He had then when the photograph was taken, but now...
They grow weaker, monsieur. You must hurry.
Find that one, Calkins. Find him.
We tried to find him. We published his blooming photograph in all the French newspapers and even offered a reward for information about him.
No,
but...
No, not in France. You must inquire in...
Yes?
Inquire where, Philippe?
In Bavaria.
Bavaria?
Bavaria, Germany?
Oui, Germany.
But, Philippe, how do you...
Hold it, Calkins. Doctor, quick.
Oh, Dulac has lost consciousness. You must leave now.
When will we be able to speak to him again, Doctor?
Who knows? Perhaps soon, perhaps never. But you must leave now, please, monsieur.
Okay, Doctor. Come on, Calkins.
All right. But we must work quickly, Kent. And the first thing is to hop right over to police headquarters and put a wire photo through to Bavaria.
Yes.
You agree?
You go ahead and do that, Calkins. I've got another idea.
Yes, what's that?
I can't tell you now, but it should save time. So long.
But wait, old chap, where are you going?
I'll let you know. Later.
Can you hear me, Bucky Taylor?
Yes, I hear you, but I can't see you. Where are you?
I'm here with you.
You mean in this room?
Yes. Now listen to me, Bucky Taylor. Before your father died, he told you about an important story he was working on for the Metropolis Daily Planet. A story about a plot against the World Peace Organization. Do you recall that?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't lie to me. Your father wrote that story down and hid it someplace. He told you where he hid it.
No,
that in case anything happened to him, you could get the story and give it to the Daily Planet. Now tell me, where did he hide that story?
I don't know anything about it, I tell you.
I warn you, Bucky, don't try my patience. I want that information and I'll stop at nothing to get it. Do you understand?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
We'll see. Listen to this.
What's that?
It's water, Bucky. And unless you tell me what I want to know, more water, much more, will continue to pour into this room until it is filled. You know what that means?
Golly. Gosh.
Now, you ready to tell me?
Gee whiz, how can I tell you what I don't know?
You lie.
No, it's the truth. I don't know.
I will give you exactly 30 seconds to decide to talk, Bucky. If at the end of that time you still remain stubborn, well, I have already told you what will follow.
Jeepers, what can I do?
You have 30 seconds to begin talking, Bucky. If you remain stubborn, water will pour into this room. And, well, you know what that means.
As we continue now, Superman has arrived at the Russian military government headquarters in Bavaria, Germany, where, once more in his guise of reporter Clark Kent, we find him talking with Colonel Ivan Stroganoff. Listen.
I have an artist's sketch of the man I'm looking for, Colonel Stroganoff. A man known only as the man without a face.
The man without a face?
Yes. According to confidential information, he is said to be engineering a huge plot against the World Peace Organization. We don't know just what it is yet, but we think he's managed to get hold of young Bucky Taylor.
Wait, Comrade Kent. I remember now to have heard of this man without a face. You think he is here in Bavaria?
Well, either he is actually here, or this is the place to pick up his trail. Look, here's the artist's sketch of him. It was made from a photograph.
Let me see. But this man has a face.
Well, he had at the time the photograph was taken.
Wait, this man. He's familiar to me.
He is? You mean you know him?
But, of course, this man is Count von Luder.
Who?
Count von Luder. It was not generally known, but he was a close associate of Adolf Hitler. Hitler's brain, he was called by those few who knew.
Oh?
But Count von Luder is dead.
Dead?
Yes. He had a large estate near here, and we searched for him when we entered this territory. But he was reported to have committed suicide.
Reported? You mean you're not sure?
Well, we did not find his body, but reliable witnesses.
German witnesses?
Yes,
They could have lied to give the Count an opportunity to get away and assume a new identity.
You mean to become the man without a face?
Yes. I still think this is a good place to pick up his trail. However, I've got to know more about him. I suppose you have papers, files on him?
We have a large file.
Could I see it?
Of course, Comrade Kent.
Good.
It is stored with other such files in the vault of a bank on the other side of the town. Come with me. I will take you there.
Fine, Colonel. Let's go.
As Clark Kent accompanies Colonel Stroganoff to examine the files on Count von Luder, the 30 seconds of grace have expired for young Bucky Taylor in the ancient castle on the French coast where he is a prisoner. There in the tall, narrow, cylindrical room of stone, water from underground pipes is flowing into the room and has almost reached Bucky's hips. As he stands shivering, the voice which has threatened him before, seeming to come out of nowhere, filters into the tomb-like room.
Be sensible, boy. You can still save your life. Tell me where your father hid his story about the World Peace Organization, and I will stop the water.
I don't know anything about it, I tell you. I don't know.
Stop lying. We heard your father tell this to the editor of the Daily Planet when he spoke with him on the transatlantic telephone before he was shot.
You did?
Yes, he knew he was in danger, so he took precautions to preserve his story. He wrote down the name of the man without a face and the names of the others involved in a certain plan having to do with the World Peace Organization. And he wrote down the plan which he had just learned.
If you know so much, what do you want from me?
You know why I want it. You're going to tell me where it is.
Oh, so you can get it and burn it up, and then not have to worry about getting caught when you wreck the World Peace Organization. Is that it?
Still being brave and patriotic, Bucky? Willing to lose your life to preserve a stupid ideal like the World Peace Organization?
It isn't stupid. It's the only chance the world has to avoid being destroyed in the next war. My father said that...
Your father died at my command. And so will you, unless you talk right now. Well?
I won't tell you anything. Not all your dirty, torturing Nazis could make me tell. And you can't either.
Really?
I promised my father I'd only spill to one man, his editor in Metropolis. And he's the only one I will tell.
Unless you talk, you'll never see Metropolis again. Tell me, Bucky, how high is the water now?
Come on in and find out.
Now listen, Bucky. I was hoping this wouldn't be necessary. But you're forcing my hand.
How rude of me. I'm so sorry.
You have selected a poor time for making jokes, my young friend.
Maybe, but what a swell time to pull the line about this is killing me.
You stupid young dolt. Now I'll make the water pour in even faster. Like this.
You dirty...
Let's see how long this will strike you funny. Now the water level is over your head and you're forced to swim. How do you like that?
If I had my choice, I'd rather have a different kind of swimming pool.
Still being foolishly brave, eh, Bucky?
Yeah, sure. But how long can this go on?
What did you say?
Nothing that would interest you.
Be reasonable, son. All you have to do is...
I know what I have to do, and I'm doing it.
Very well. It will not be long now before your last chance for life will be gone. Only 4 feet of space remain free of water in this cylinder. Will you talk now, Bucky?
No.
Holy stupid, stubborn American swine. In only 5 minutes, the water line will reach the ceiling. Make up your mind to talk in that time or die. Well, Bucky, there's not long to go. Will you talk now?
Better say yes. Stall for time.
Speak up, boy. I can't hear you.
Yes, I'll talk.
Now you're being smart, boy. Go on. Tell me what I want to know. Then I will let you out of the tank.
For a man you say had his fingers in most of the Germans' dirty pies, Colonel, there isn't much revealing stuff here about von Luder.
He was very clever, Comrade Kent.
Yeah.
All his work was done in great secrecy. Mm-hmm. But we have established beyond doubt that many of Adolf Hitler's most vicious plans were actually conceived by von Luder.
Does that mean with regards to France, too?
We are positive that Count von Luder was the real ruler of Vichy France.
Oh.
We have discovered that he was in France, quartered in the castle of some French collaborationists, while the Nazis ruled there.
Wait a minute, that might be a lead. Here's an envelope from a letter written by von Luder to the Burgermeister here. It's from France. See the postmark, 1943, and von Luder's name in the corner.
But the letter itself is missing, so that cannot help us.
Oh, now, wait, maybe it can. There's an engraving of an old castle or chateau or something on the envelope. If I only make out the name of the town. The postmark's pretty faded, though. Oh, wait a minute. I've got it. Cap Grinet.
So, now where are we?
I know where I'm going to be in a matter of seconds, Colonel. In Cap Grinet, looking for that castle.
In a matter of seconds, Comrade. Cap Grinet is perhaps 2,000-3,000 miles away.
Yeah. Well, it may take a bit longer.
Quite a bit, Comrade. Anyhow, I think you place far too much hope in this slight clue.
That's the only clue I've been able to find, and it might pay off, so I've got to run it down. Well, goodbye, Colonel Stroganoff, and thanks very much. I'm on my way. That should be Cap Grinet ahead. And, yes, there's an old castle down there on that spit of land. Looks deserted, though. No, wait a minute. That old stone watchtower, it's filled with water, and somebody... A boy. Yes, a boy is trapped in it. Down to him. Down!
Help.
All right, son. Relax. Everything's under control now.
I can't swim any longer.
You won't have to. Up with you. There we are. Now, out and down to the ground. There we are. All right, you're Bucky Taylor, aren't you?
Yes,
Uh-oh, he passed out. I better apply artificial respiration, then get him into some dry clothes and into bed. Now, first the artificial respiration. Get him set here. There. All right, now. Out goes the bad air. In comes the good. Out goes the bad air.
Kneeling on the fog-swept beach, Superman applies artificial respiration until the half-drowned boy's breathing has once again become normal. Then, lifting him gently, he carries him into the ancient, deserted castle, rubs him dry, and tucks him into a huge canopied bed.
Poor kid. Must have had a rough time. I'll let him sleep a while. Let's see. It seems as if there's nobody else in this old fortress. I wonder what happened. Whether the man without a face was... What the... Who are you?
I, monsieur. I'm Janine.
You've been here all the time? You saw what was going on?
Oui, monsieur. I even saw the devil, but he do not see me. Oh, no.
You saw whom?
The devil. The one without a face.
What? The man without a face was here?
Oui, but he do not see Janine. Oh, no.
Well, tell me, where is he now?
He's gone. In a plane. And good riddance, too. He left this poor boy to drown in the watchtower. The swine!
Oh, so that's what happened.
Oui, but no one knows Janine is here. No one. Janine has this fine, great house all to herself. Until they come.
They? Who are they?
The two men and this boy.
Oh?
10 days ago they come, on a Sunday, late at night. I see them. I hear all. I hear them say they have taken the boy from a great boat.
Yes? What else did you hear?
They are cruel to the boy. They beat him and starve him. They put him in water to make him drown.
Cowards.
They wish him to tell them something.
Yes?
But he say no, no matter what they do to him. He say no.
Brave boy. Tell me about the man without a face.
He who is like the devil arrived last night in a plane.
Oh?
He walk alone with a cape over his head. Always when the others come near him, the cloak is over his head.
Uh-huh.
But me, I see him, and he have no face. He is the devil himself.
Nonsense. Look, is there food here? Can you make some hot tea?
Oui, I make tea.
Good. Make some for Bucky. I'll wake him in an hour. He may be well enough to talk then. Bucky. Wake up, Bucky.
Huh?
Bucky.
Huh?
You got to wake up now, son. Come on, wake up.
The water.
Take it easy.
It's over my
easy,
head.
Boy, easy. You're not in the water anymore. You're all right now.
Where am I? Who are you?
You're safe, and I'm your friend. My name is Superman.
Superman?
That's right. Listen now, Bucky.
You pulled me out of that tank.
Yes, but look,
I thought I dreamed it.
No.
But you are Superman.
Yes, I am. Now listen to me, Bucky. This is important.
Wait, did I spill it to...
What did he want to know?
The story my father got before he was murdered by the Nazis. The story about the plot against the World Peace Organization. That's what the man without a face wanted, my father's story.
Uh-huh.
So nobody else could find it and know what he was up to.
So that's it.
Yes, tell me, please, Superman, did I spill it?
I don't know, Bucky. Don't you?
No. When the water kept rising and I had to swim, I told him I'd talk. I was going to give him a bum steer to gain time.
Yes?
But then I can't remember. Everything seemed to pile up on me. Like the time they had me in a Nazi concentration camp.
I know. You've had a bad time, boy.
And then getting put in that stone room. And the water coming in to drown me like a rat.
Easy, boy. Take it easy.
I kind of cracked up, I guess. I remember what I said. Wait, Superman, did you catch the man without a face?
No, he left in a plane before I got here.
Oh, gosh, then I must have told him.
Why?
Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone. Gee whiz, Superman, I'm afraid I let my dad down. My country,
Nonsense.
too, and the whole world.
Now, wait a minute. Don't blame yourself, son.
The man without a face was only waiting until he got my father's story, so there'd be no evidence of his plan to wreck the World Peace Organization.
Well, I'm afraid that's true, but
now that rat will get my father's story and destroy it. Because I must have told him where I hid it, or he wouldn't have left me to die.
Now, wait, Bucky. Where did you hide your father's story?
In the concentration camp they first took me to. After they shot my father, I had the story in my shoe under the lining.
Uh-huh.
I was afraid they'd find it, so I dug a hole near a fence post and I buried it.
What concentration camp was this?
Orgenburg, just across the French border.
Uh-oh, that's not far from here. We'll have to move fast. Do you feel up to a quick flight by Superman Express?
Oh, golly, sure.
All right, hang on now. We're going out through that window. All set?
Oh, boy, am I. Let her rip, Superman.
Here we go, then. Up and away! Well, here we are, Bucky.
Yeah, and it looks as if maybe we got here first, I hope.
So do I. Now, do you recall where you buried your father's story?
Yes, I'll show you, Superman. Follow me.
Right.
Oh, golly.
What's the matter, boy?
It all came over me just now.
What?
I saw here, I mean.
Oh.
Men and women, even kids getting beat up and then taken to the gas chambers. Those were the gas chambers, that old building over there.
I see.
Often I wake up at night hearing your screams again, seeing them. Oh, golly, I'll never be able to forget.
Don't forget, Bucky. The world must never forget. We must all make up our minds that it must never be like that again.
Gee whiz, I hope not.
We've taken the first step to prevent it by setting up the World Peace Organization.
That's what my dad used to say. Oh, no.
What's the matter?
It's gone.
What's gone?
Dad's story. I buried it right here by this fence post.
Uh-oh.
And look, there's a big hole here now. The man without a face.
Yes, it looks as if he beat us to it, Bucky.
Oh, jeepers, what'll we do now?
Take it easy, son. We've still got one trump card left.
What do you mean?
You know the story your father wrote. You know the details of the plot against the peace organization. Tell me and
But I don't really know, Superman.
What?
I never saw the story. My father sewed it in an oilskin envelope.
Oh, no.
All he told me was just the names of two men. The ones who had things all set so that they could wreck the World Peace Organization as soon as the man without a face gave the word.
Okay, that'll do. Who are those two men?
They...
Yes?
Oh, jeepers, I forgot.
Try hard, Bucky. You've got to remember.
But I can't, Superman. I just can't remember. See, Superman, these last 2 years, when I was in this concentration camp, and then dodging the Nazis all over Europe, I made myself forget the names. So if the Nazis caught me and tortured me, I wouldn't be able to tell them.
Uh-oh, this isn't so good, Bucky. You can't recall any details of the plot against the World Peace Organization either?
No, sir. You see, Dad never had a chance to tell me much about that.
I see.
All I remember is Dad saying that unless the plot was stopped, the World Peace Organization would be wrecked, and we'd probably have another world war.
He wasn't fooling. But look, Bucky, about the names of those men involved. You say your father told you they were the two men who were working for the man without a face?
That's right. He said something about their being in the perfect spot when the time came, but nobody would ever suspect them, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean anything to you?
Well, I'm not sure, but it does give me an idea. Look, son, if you heard those names again, do you think you'd recognize them?
Why, I think so.
Good. You're going to get the chance to try.
How?
I'll explain later in Metropolis.
Metropolis? Are we going there?
Yes, but first we're going to stop off in Le Havre to see Herbert Calkins. Up under my arm with you.
Who's Herbert Calkins?
One of Scotland Yard's best detectives who's been working on this case with me. Incidentally, you're going to meet another friend, Clark Kent.
The reporter? Oh, my dad told me about him.
Good. All set now?
Let her rip.
All right, hang on then. Here we go. Up and away!
Kent, I am relieved to see you. I've been searching for you since last night.
Sorry to have worried you, Calkins, but
I've had the local police, the French intelligence, and everyone else looking all over for you.
I'm sorry to have caused all this trouble, but
I'll tell you all about it, old chap. You say you found Bucky Taylor?
I have.
Where is the lad?
He's taking a nap right now. Had a pretty rugged time of it, you know.
I dare say. Well, bring me up to date on everything, will you, old boy? I'm fairly bursting to hear what you know.
Right. I'll be as brief as possible because we've got to work fast. So here it is. After I left you at the hospital last night, I The man without a face must have flown directly to the Orgenburg concentration camp, dug up the story that Bucky's father wrote. And now that he's sure nobody else can find out about it, he'll be able to go through with his plot to wreck the World Peace Organization.
Bucky has no idea of what the plot is, eh, old boy?
No, but I'm taking him to Metropolis where I'm going to show him a certain list of names, among which I'm hoping the two his father mentioned will be included.
What list? Oh, in Metropolis, you say. I get it.
Yes. If those names are on the list and Bucky recognizes them, we'll have a lead to the man without a face, and maybe we'll be able to stop him before the damage is done.
That's a pretty long chance, eh, what?
Well, we've got to take it and hope it pays off. Now, look, Calkins, here's what I'd like you to do.
Yes?
See that all the information we've got is given to the British and French intelligence. Tell them we have reason to believe that the man without a face is really Count von Luder, an individual whom the inner circle of Nazis called Hitler's brain.
I'll do it at once. Maybe we can turn something up from that.
I hope so. Well, I'll be leaving now.
One moment, old chap. There's still something I don't quite understand.
Yes, what's that?
In the 18 hours since I last saw you, you've been to Germany, to that bloomin' French castle at Cape Renais, then back to Germany to the concentration camp, and now back here to Le Havre. There's only one way you could have done all that, old man.
Now, look.
And that is if you're Superman.
Oh, please, Calkins, let's not go into that routine again. You know every minute counts.
Very well, but I just want you to know, old boy, that I think I've got you this time.
Not really, old bean. Distances in Europe are short, you know, especially with a fast fighter plane.
But you didn't have a plane at your disposal. Or did you?
I didn't say I did.
What? No. Look here, old top. You're just trying to confuse me.
Oh, stop it, Hawkshaw. We haven't time to play games. I've got to pick Bucky up and push on to Metropolis. Good luck. I'll be seeing you again.
You certainly will, old boy. One day I'm going to prove definitely whether you are or are not you know whom.
That'll be the day. Toodaloo.
Cheerio, Kent, old chap. I'll carry on here.
Good.
Oh, Kent.
Yes?
Please pay my respects to Perry White and Miss Lane.
Thanks, I will. I'm heading their way now.
Any word from Clark yet, Chief?
Nothing, Lois. Not since that cable a couple of days ago telling us he's in France. But why should he bother to keep me posted on what goes on? I'm only his editor, after all.
Oh, now relax, Chief. I'm sure he would have cabled us again if he'd found out anything about Bucky Taylor. He knows how worried we are.
Lottie cares about that. The trouble with him is he's got a swelled head.
Oh, now look, I don't think so, Chief.
And so have you.
I?
Yes, you. Both you and Kent manage to pick up a lucky scoop now and then, and when you do, you get too big for your britches.
Well,
Then the first thing I know, you're both trying to run the whole paper.
Now, wait a minute. I think you're being
I've had
unfair.
enough of it. How dare he chase off to France without even a by your leave, and then send me one measly cable which says exactly nothing.
But, Chief, maybe he's in a spot where
I
he
don't.
can't...
I won't have it, you hear me? I'll fire the both of you, that's what I'll do.
Oh, murder. Do we have to go through that again?
There's room for only one editor in this shop, I Caesar, and I'm it. And you two will have to get that through your heads or you're through. You understand?
Home, sweet home. Fired again.
Clark! Chief, look!
Come on in, Bucky.
Bucky?
Folks, I want you to meet Bucky Taylor.
It is Bucky.
Well, yes, sir, and I remember you. You're Mr. White. How are you, sir?
Oh, fine. Fine, son, fine. I'm delighted to see you.
Oh, thank you. So am I.
Oh, I can't tell you how, well, what a pleasure it is to see you well and safe.
Well, it does feel good.
Bucky, this is Lois Lane, our star reporter. Next to me.
How do you do, Miss Lane?
Welcome home, Bucky. I'm happy to see you.
Thanks, Miss Lane. I'm sure glad to be home.
Now, listen, please, everyone. There's something very important.
Now, wait. Hold everything. We can make the afternoon editions with this story. So get a rewrite man in here, Lois, and can't you start
Wait a minute, Chief. Come back here, Lois. Nobody must know that Bucky is here, that he's alive. Not yet.
Well, why not?
What do you mean, Clark?
If the man without a face hears of it, Bucky's life will be in danger, and that goes for everyone else around this shop.
You said it.
Who did you say?
A man known only as the man without a face is behind a plot
Skip it, Bucky. There's no time to explain now. But
Now, don't give us that fast brush-off routine, Clark.
Believe me, Lois, every second counts. The future of the World Peace Organization, and perhaps of the whole world, is at stake.
What?
Look, what is this? What are you talking about?
You take my word for it. Now listen, Chief. You know the secretary of the World Peace Organization, don't you?
Well, of course I do. I had dinner with him last night.
Fine.
But what
I want you to get him on the phone and ask him to let Bucky and me examine the names of everyone connected with the organization. Everyone. Delegates, secretaries, undersecretaries, servants, everybody. Do you think he'll do it?
I don't see why not.
All
but
I
why
can
do you
tell
want...
you now is that I believe two men who are working with the mysterious man without a face to plunge the world into another war are connected with the World Peace Organization in some capacity.
Good heavens!
Bucky's father told him the names of those men before he was shot by the Nazi Gestapo.
Yes?
But the boy's forgotten them. Well, I'm hoping he'll recognize the names when he sees them.
Oh, I get it.
But wait, Ken.
Believe me, Chief, there isn't a second to waste. Get the secretary of the World Peace Organization on the phone right now. Tell him Bucky and I are on our way and we'll be there in a few minutes. Come on, Bucky. Let's go.
Listen, the short wave.
Yes, turn it up quickly.
Attention. I speak for the face.
This is it. Quiet.
He arrives within the hour. Stand by for immediate action. That is all.
He's on the way here.
That means he must have found the Daily Planet correspondent's story.
Of course. Now, at last, our time has come.
Well, the two names Dad mentioned aren't on this list, Mr. Kent.
What list is that, Bucky?
Let's see. Undersecretaries to the delegates at large.
All right, now have a look at this list of delegates, Bucky. When you get through that, there's still more.
Oh, jeepers. How many people are connected with the World Peace Organization anyhow?
Great many. Delegates and their staffs, specialists in public relations, newspapers, radio, movies, education, secretaries and clerks, servants, and a lot more.
Oh, boy, what do they need so many for?
Well, it takes a lot of work, Bucky. Patient work. First to break down the old feuds and mistrust among nations, and then to get them to work together in friendship and understanding. But that's the only way we can preserve peace. And unless we do, Bucky, the next war with atomic weapons may destroy the whole world.
Yeah, that's exactly what Dad used to say. Oh, golly, if only I could remember those two names he mentioned.
Keep looking, Bucky. I've got a hunch they're somewhere in these lists, and I have a feeling we haven't much time.
Why do you say that?
Because the man without a face thinks you're dead, that there's no chance of anyone finding out what he's up to until it's too late. That means he'll act at any moment, any time.
Jeepers. Oh, if only I didn't get so dizzy.
Dizzy? What's the matter, son? Don't you feel well?
Oh, sure, but all these names, row after row of them, and page after page.
Well, now, look, I've got an idea. Suppose I read the names out loud, and you just sit back and listen. How'll that be?
Oh, gee, that ought to help a lot, Mr. Kent.
Okay, here goes, then. Close your eyes if you like, but listen closely, Bucky. You ready?
Shoot.
Arbuckle. Ashley. Atwater. Bet Sahi.
As Clark Kent calls out name after name to young Bucky Taylor, a limousine rolls into a fashionable suburb a few miles away, passes through a gate, and comes to a stop before a large house surrounded by tall hedges. A liveried chauffeur opens the door, and a tall man holding the loose sleeve of his overcoat over his face steps swiftly from the car and goes into the house. As he enters, two middle-aged, distinguished-looking men rise to their feet, then start in surprise as they recognize their visitor, a man who wears a flat, dull gray mask where his face should be.
You, Count von Luder.
Why are you so surprised? Did you not receive word that I was in Metropolis?
Yes, but you have never appeared in person before.
Always we heard only your voice.
The time has come for action. I have recovered the story that Taylor, the Daily Planet correspondent, wrote about us before our men liquidated him.
Good. But what of the boy? His father had told him about
the boy, Bucky Taylor, has joined his father.
You mean?
Dead. I saw to that myself in the old castle at Cap Grinet. So now we need have no further fears. We are free to act.
Good. At last.
That is why I came to tell you myself. I wish to make certain that you are fully prepared for your mission. That you are letter perfect in every detail, so that nothing can now go wrong.
We are prepared.
Fully prepared.
We have observed our men every day for the past 2 years. We have studied every detail of their dress, their speech, their habits.
That is true. For myself, I feel I know my men almost as well as I know myself.
And I am likewise confident.
Excellent. Tomorrow, then, we act.
Tomorrow.
But what of those men, Renassi and Salim Shah?
They will be taken care of tonight. After a certain dinner party they will both attend. Masks will be made of their faces, and tomorrow you, Bergson, and you, Milch, will appear before the full assembly of the World Peace Organization as Renassi and Salim Shah, the noted men of peace. At that time, with no one aware that you have assumed the identities of those two delegates, you will read these declarations.
What are they about?
Here they are. Read them.
Let me see.
Here. But this... Have you prepared enough evidence to make what I'm to say be a true count?
Don't worry. Everything is prepared, Bergson.
Then this will split the peace organization wide open.
It will wreck it.
Exactly, my friends. When we have finished, there will be no more World Peace Organization.
I hope you are aware that this may well bring on war.
No. If it does, let it. The men who back me, powerful isolationists throughout the world, wish the end of the peace organization for their own purposes. For myself, as one deprived of his estates and position, I wish it too.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, I welcome another war. And this time it will not be fought on German soil. Since there is little left in Germany to destroy, the other nations will annihilate each other with their atomic weapons.
And Germany will then rise again.
Exactly. That is my ultimate goal and fondest hope.
Wunderbar, Bergson, pour the wine. We will drink a toast to Count von Luder and to the new Germany.
Yeah, it is a pleasure.
Wait. There is no time for toasts. There is much to be done this afternoon and tonight. Right now, I wish to see you two impersonate the delegates Renassi and Salim Shah. Also, I wish to hear you read the declarations which will, I hope, put an end to the World Peace Organization. You first, Bergson. Read as if you are Delegate Renassi.
As the man without a face and his two henchmen rehearse their plot to wreck the World Peace Organization, Clark Kent has read aloud list after list of names of men connected with the organization to young Bucky Taylor, who, with his hands cupped over his eyes, sits concentrating on each name.
Vanilla, Rawlings, Raymond. Hey, you aren't falling asleep, are you, Bucky?
Are you kidding, Mr. Kent? Just keep going. I'm with you.
Oh, good boy. Reber, Robertson, Rumley, Renassi, Sampwell.
That's it.
What? Sampwell?
No, the name you read just before.
Renassi?
That's it. And now I remember the other name my father told me, too.
Yes, what was it?
It was... Oh, wait a minute, I just had it. Another strange kind of a name, sort of Arabic or... Oh, yeah, Salim Shah, that's it.
Salim Shah?
Right, those are the two names, Mr. Kent. Renassi and Salim Shah.
Are you sure, Bucky?
I'm positive. Those are the two guys my father said are working with the man without a face.
But that's impossible, Bucky. There must be some mistake.
No, there isn't, Mr. Kent. I remember Dad telling me those names. Renassi and...
Wait a minute, son. There's something wrong, I tell you. Luigo Renassi and Salim Shah are both fine men with wonderful reputations as fighters for world peace.
Jeepers.
Why, they've been leaders in the world peace movement all their lives. First in their own countries and now in the World Peace Organization.
No kidding.
Definitely. Those two men couldn't possibly be mixed up with a vile character like the man without a face.
Gee whiz, if that's so, I can't understand why Dad would give me their names in connection with this plot against the organization.
I can't imagine, Bucky. This has me stumped. Really stumped. There must be something wrong, Bucky, because those two men, Luigo Renassi and Salim Shah, are great leaders in the fight for world peace. Why, they're absolutely beyond suspicion.
Jeepers.
This has me stumped, Bucky. Really stumped.
Oh, gosh, me too, Mr. Kent.
Only thing I can figure is that your father must have meant something else. Oh, if only we'd been able to get his written story of the plot before our faceless friend did.
Oh, yeah, it was all my fault.
No,
if I hadn't talked in that old castle...
Well, there might be some angle I don't see. Some answer to what your father meant. Try to remember, Bucky. Try to remember anything he said about the plot or about Renassi and Salim Shah.
I've been trying to remember, Mr. Kent, but it's no soap.
Well, okay, then. Let's try it from another angle. Let's see if we can figure out how anyone who wanted to wreck the World Peace Organization could hope to make use of two irreproachable men like Renassi and Salim Shah.
Gee, I can't imagine.
No, neither can I. On the surface, it's ridiculous. This doesn't add up at all. Unless... Wait, Bucky.
Huh?
Got an idea.
Yeah, what?
It's crazy, far-fetched, but maybe, just maybe, I've hit on it. Come on, son, grab your coat and hat. We're going places.
We are? Where, Mr. Kent?
First to the office of Stuart Morgan, chief of the federal investigators attached to the World Peace Organization. Let's go, son. Maybe we're on the right track at last.
Now, let me get this straight, Kent.
Yes?
You say the late Hobie Taylor, this boy's father, discovered an international plot to wreck the World Peace Organization.
That's right, Mr. Morgan. He discovered that the man without a face was behind it. But, unfortunately, Hobie Taylor was murdered before he could reveal the plot. The only clues we have are the names of two men that he told Bucky.
And they are Luigo Renassi and Salim Shah.
Right.
I figured they must be working with the man without a face, but Mr. Kent said that
It's impossible, Bucky. Luigo Renassi and Salim Shah are known to have been leaders in world peace movements all their lives.
Yet one thing seems certain, Mr. Morgan. Renassi and Salim Shah must have some part in the plot.
Oh, nonsense.
Or Hobie Taylor wouldn't have mentioned them in connection with it.
I tell you, it's ridiculous to suspect those men, Kent.
Well,
Renassi and Salim Shah are wonderful men who've dedicated their lives to the preservation of peace.
Well, now look, Mr. Morgan, I'm not accusing them of ganging up with the man without a face.
But you just said
What I mean to infer is that they must have some part in the plot, even if they don't know about it.
Well, how can that be?
I don't follow you, Kent.
Well, I'll admit I'm flirting with a rather far-fetched idea, so let's skip that for the moment. First, I'd like to see Mr. Renassi and Salim Shah.
What for?
Well, they may know something that'll throw a light on this mystery.
Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Let's see. They're both at the dinner given by our State Department this evening. I'll take you over there if you like.
Swell. The Daily Planet's right on our way. I want to drop Bucky there, and then we'll go over to the State Department.
Okay, let's get started. Good evening, Mr. Renassi.
Good evening, Mr. Morgan.
I'd like you to meet Mr.
Mr. Kent, delighted to see you again.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm happy to see you, and I'm flattered that you remember me.
How could I forget such an excellent report of my views on peace as the one you wrote?
Thank you again. You've got a good memory. Wonder if I might ask you to remember something else.
But of course. What is it?
Did you ever meet Hobie Taylor? He used to be a foreign correspondent for the Daily Planet.
Why, no, I can't recall ever meeting him.
I see.
Ever run into, the man without a face, Mr. Anassi?
The man without a face? Good heavens. Who or what is that?
Well, you see,
never mind, Mr. Morgan. I hope you won't mind our being so abrupt, Mr. Anassi, but we're in a bit of a hurry.
Not at all.
Thanks very much, and I hope to see you again soon. So long, Mr. Morgan.
Good night, Mr. Anassi.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, sir.
Say, what was the idea of dragging me away, Kent? I wanted to question him some more.
It's a waste of time. Besides, I'm satisfied that he is Renassi.
You're satisfied that he... Look, what in heaven's name are you talking about?
Oh, that wild notion I mentioned is still in the back of my mind, but... Oh, come on, I just saw Salim Shah go into the next room. Maybe we'll have better luck with him. You're certain you never had any contact with Hobie Taylor, Mr. Salim Shah?
Of course I'm certain of it, Mr. Kent. I remember his name because I used to read his articles in the Paris edition of the Daily Planet, but I never met Mr. Taylor.
I see. One more question, please, sir. You've heard of Count von Luder, I presume?
Von Luder?
Yes.
Oh, yes, the Nazi. Isn't he the one who was reported to have committed suicide when the Russians entered Bavaria?
So the story goes.
You do not believe that, Mr. Kent?
Well, confidentially, we have reason to believe von Luder is alive, and that he is the man without a face.
Really? Are you serious, gentlemen?
Yes. What's more, we think he's engaged in some plot against the World Peace Organization.
Why, that sounds incredible.
Maybe so. But please keep it under your hat, sir. I'll tell you more about it another time. Thanks very much. Come on, Kent. Let's get outside. Well, that's that, Kent.
Yes, there's no question in my mind that neither Renassi nor Salim Shah knows a thing about a plot against the peace organization.
Of course they don't.
Or that they are who they seem to be.
Who they seem to be? Wait a minute. You said something like that before, Kent. Now, just what do you mean?
Oh, I had a half-baked notion that they might be imposters.
Imposters? Are you nuts?
I said I was mistaken, so don't rub it in. You see, I was sure Renassi and Salim Shah were the keys to this mystery. But now, well...
It was a bum steer, Kent. Hobie Taylor must have had something else in mind when he mentioned those two to Bucky.
I don't think so.
Well, as I see it, our best chance is to find the man without a face and find him fast. Come on, let's get back to my office.
As Clark Kent and Stuart Morgan depart for the Federal Investigation Offices, Lois Lane, in her office in the Daily Planet, is talking with Bucky Taylor.
Mr. Kent, say he'd be here soon, Bucky.
Well, he said he thought he would, Miss Lane.
Well, I wish he'd hurry up then. I'm terribly anxious to know what he found out, if anything. Also, I'm getting hungry, aren't you?
Well, not very. Oh, look, why don't you go out and have your dinner, Miss Lane? I don't mind waiting here for Mr. Kent.
Nothing doing, Bucky. Clark said you were in danger, and I'm staying right here with you until Mr. White gets back and takes you home with him.
Oh, gosh, I'm not afraid.
Forget it. Well, I suppose we could both go to dinner and leave word for Clark where we... Oh, just a second. That's my phone. Hello? Lois Lane speaking. Yes? A transatlantic call from Mr. Kent? Why, no, he isn't here right now, but... Yes, I'll hold on. Wonder who's calling Clark from Europe, Bucky?
Gosh, I don't know. If I never see Europe again, that'll be too soon.
No wonder. After all you went through there, poor kid. Hello, yes? He'll talk to me? Okay, put him on. Hello? Hello? Who? Why, Mr. Calkins, how are you? It's grand to hear your voice again.
Is that the Scotland Yard detective?
Yes, just a second. No, he isn't here. Well, I don't know just when Clark will be back. Yes? Yes, of course you can tell me. I know all about the story. Yes? Where? Just a second, Mr. Calkins. I'll get a pencil. Thanks, Bucky. Okay, let's have it again. 233 Mulberry Drive. Yes. West Acres. Right, Mr. Calkins, I've got it. Yes, I'll check on it at once and... Oh, don't worry, I'll be careful. Right. Oh, sure, either Clark or I'll call you back. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Gee, you seem well excited,
Listen,
Miss Lane.
Bucky, Mr. Calkins just got a lead to the gang who worked for the man without a face.
He did?
At least he thinks he did. He wants us to check a house in West Acres. That's a suburb just south of Metropolis. So I'll run out there now.
Gee whiz, can I go along?
No, you stay here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I promised Mr. White and Clark not to let you out of my sight. Now what am I going to do?
That's easy. Take me along with you.
Oh, no, that'd be too
Oh, look,
dangerous.
I know how to be careful. Gosh, I dodged the Nazi Gestapo all over Europe for 2 years,
Yes,
didn't I?
Bucky, but
oh,
now...
please let me go along, Miss Lane, please. You're just going to kind of look this place over, aren't you?
Yes, and if I see anything suspicious, I'm going to contact the police. So it ought to be safe enough.
Oh, sure it is.
Well, okay, this is your story anyhow. Come on, Bucky, let's go.
It's number 233, Miss Lane. See? The number's on the gate here.
Yes, I see it, Bucky.
And what do we do now?
Let's see. Everything seems quiet. Look, let's ease ourselves in through the gate and look around. Come on.
Okay, I'm right with you.
Leave the gate open, Bucky, just in case we have to leave in a hurry.
Right.
Now follow me, but be very careful.
Yes? Somebody has entered through the outside gate. The sound you just heard was the electric eye setting off the alarm here.
I'll find out who it is quickly.
Yeah, I will find out. But first...
What are you doing?
I have turned on the current in the electric wires which run through the gate and hedges surrounding the house.
I see.
The voltage will not kill anyone touching the wires, but it will stun them and hold them helpless until we find them.
Good. Take Martin and the others then and seize whoever is on the grounds. Then bring them to me.
Yes, Count. At once.
Look, Miss Lane, do you think the man without a face is in that house?
Your guess is as good as mine, Bucky. All I know is that Mr. Corkin said he picked up a tip in Europe which led to this house, and... Wait a minute. Hold it, Bucky.
What's the matter?
I thought I heard something.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
No, I don't either now.
Well, maybe it was just a cat or something.
I hope that's all it was. Oh, Bucky, I think you ought to go back to the street and wait for me.
What? And leave you out here all alone? Nothing doing, Miss Lane.
Oh, well, come on. But for heaven's sake, be careful.
Oh, don't worry about me.
I am worried about you. It's too late to do anything about that now. Be quiet now. Here's the window.
Okay. Can you see into the room?
Yes. There's a man.
What's the matter, Miss Lane?
Look, Bucky. It's...
Holy smokes. A man without a face. He is here.
Yes. How awful.
Oh, golly, what do we do now?
Get out of here as fast as we can and call the police. Come on, hurry.
Here
they are.
Hey, Bucky, look out.
Hey.
Run, Bucky.
Don't you bother. You cannot get away. Martin, hold on. Help me bring them into the house.
You're still alive, eh, Bucky?
Isn't that pretty obvious, Mr. No-Face?
I can't understand it. How did you get away from the castle in France?
Very simple. I drank all the water you let into the room to drown me, and then I walked away. You see, nothing to it, Count von Luther.
What did you call me?
He knows who you are.
Quiet, Baxton. Tell me, boy, how did you learn my identity?
Don't tell him anything, Bucky.
I warn you, Miss Lane, don't interfere. Now, look here, Bucky. You and I have had dealings together before. Therefore, you know it is painful to defy me. So answer me. How did you learn who I am?
Bucky, don't.
Don't worry, Miss Lane.
I warned you, Miss Lane.
I will call Martin. He will make this boy talk.
Yeah, that's what you think. Plenty of your Nazis worked on me before, in your rotten concentration camp. They couldn't make me talk then, and you can't make me talk now.
Good boy, Bucky. Now, you listen to me, Count von Luther, or Mr. Man Without a Face, or whatever you call yourself. The police are aware of where we are, and they'll be here any minute. So if you're smart, you'll untie us.
Police, you hear, Count?
Yes, I hear. But I do not believe her. Because if the police knew we were here, they would have come instead of this newspaper girl and the boy.
We're here because we got the tip first. But we called the police to follow us.
Sure, that's right.
If you will listen to me, Count.
No, Bergson. There is too much at stake here. The fruits of years of careful planning. I do not intend to be frightened out of my reward by the chatter of a newspaper girl and a boy.
But the police, if
the police come, we will be warned by the signal device in the gate and hedges, and have time to escape by the underground passage. Is that not so?
Yeah, perhaps, but it will be very risky.
I have run worse risks than this, and I am prepared to run any risks in order to accomplish my mission, which is to destroy the World Peace Organization.
Gosh, Miss Lane, be quiet.
I realize all that, Count.
I know what I'm doing, Bergson. Now be quiet while I learn from these two what I must know.
Very well, Count.
Now, Miss Lane, I want you to tell me everything you and your newspaper know of me and of my plans. How you learned of this house, everything.
That's all you want to know, huh?
This guy starts with the $64 question.
Your flippant attitude will get you nowhere. Talk.
Don't be silly.
Atta girl, Miss Lane.
Let me call Martin, Count.
Never mind, Bergson. I know something of human nature, and I believe I can persuade Miss Lane to speak very quickly. This way.
Jeepers, he's got a gun.
You can wave that gun at me all you want, Count.
You misunderstand, Miss Lane. I am not threatening your life. I am aiming this revolver at Bucky Taylor.
Oh, well, so what? If you think you can scare me, you've got another guess coming.
Now, Miss Lane, I will count to 3. If you do not begin speaking, and speaking the truth, before I reach 3, I will pull the trigger. Whatever happens to the boy then is your responsibility.
You wouldn't dare.
It's a grandstand play, Miss Lane.
If you know even half as much about the man without a face as I think you do, you know I would hesitate no more at shooting Bucky than a crow. Are you ready, Miss Lane? 1.
Don't let him get away with this, Miss Lane.
2.
Oh, dear.
This is your last chance to save the boy's life, Miss Lane. 3.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
Don't, Miss Lane.
Yes, I'll talk.
I thought you would.
Oh, no.
We don't know just what you're planning to do, Count von Luder, except that you intend to wreck the World Peace Organization.
As Lois Lane, to save Bucky Taylor's life, tells the man without a face the few meager facts she has learned from Clark Kent, Editor Perry White, who has just returned to the Daily Planet to rejoin Kent, is growing worried over the prolonged absence of Lois Lane and Bucky Taylor. Kent is fretting as he nervously paces the floor.
Brady on the night desk said Lois and Bucky went out almost 2 hours ago, Chief, so if they just stepped out for dinner as we thought, they should have been back long ago.
I know, Kent. Look, you don't suppose they went to a movie, do you?
Oh, no. Lois was on pins and needles waiting to hear what the federal men and I found out about the man without a face tonight. She knew we had a lead, which, by the way, didn't work out.
Yes, I know. Oh, I suppose they're all right, but... wait a minute.
Where are you going?
I want to talk to Brady again. Oh, Brady. Hey, Brady. Come here a minute, will you, please?
Okay, Mr. White.
Not that I'm really worried, you understand, Kent. It's just that...
Well, frankly, I am worried. The man without a face thought he'd finished Bucky in France. Now, if by any chance he found out that Bucky is still alive...
Don't say it, Kent.
What should I do for you, Mr. White?
Well, we're a little worried about Miss Lane and Bucky Taylor, so...
Oh, you don't have to worry about Miss Lane. She knows her way around.
Yeah, sure. But tell me, you didn't happen to hear her say where she was going, did you?
Well, no, I didn't. All I know is that she and the Taylor kid lit out of here awful fast.
Not much help there, Chief.
No. Well, thanks very much, Brady.
You're welcome, Chief.
Doggone it, I am worried, Kent. Now, wait
a minute, Chief. Hello, Kent speaking. Call from London? Well, yes, of course I'll take it.
Who's calling you from London?
I don't know. Hello? Yes, this is Clark Kent. Herbert Corkin.
Corkin?
Oh, how are you, Hawkshaw?
Is that the Scotland Yard man?
Yes, it is. Who was supposed to call you back? I was. Miss Lane? Say, wait a minute. What in the...
What is it, Kent?
Just a minute, Chief. What's that? What house? Where? Well, I'll be... So that's where Lois went.
What about Lois?
Give me that number again, Corkins, will you? Oh, never mind. Just give me the number, please. 233 Mulberry Drive, West Acres. Fine, I'll get right out there. Yes, I'll call you back. Right, so long.
What did Calkins want? What about Lois and Mulberry Drive?
That's where Lois must have gone with Bucky. And unless I'm very much mistaken, they're in trouble. Well, here's the house. Now to see if I... Uh-oh, there's nobody here. Not a soul. That means if Lois and Bucky were here, they've been taken away. But where? Now, what do I do? Uh-oh, that's Perry White. Better get back into Clark Kent's clothes in a hurry.
Kent, are you there?
Coming, Chief.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
All right, come in, Chief.
Oh, where's Lois? Where's Bucky Taylor?
I don't know.
You mean they're not here?
That's right. House was empty when I arrived.
Great Caesar, then where are they?
I don't know, but I'll tell
They
you...
ran into trouble, I'm sure of it.
Now, wait a minute, Chief.
Oh, well, then, don't just stand there, Kent.
Well, now, look.
This is the headquarters of the man without a face, and if he's got the boy now, and
Will you
Lois...
please slow down for a second? We're not going to find them while you waste time popping your buttons. Now, pull yourself together and listen to me.
All right, but where are the police? I left word for Inspector Henderson, and I thought he'd be here by now.
He'll probably be along soon, but we can't wait for him. Now, listen, Chief. I'm pretty sure this was the headquarters for the man without a face.
It was, eh?
Uh-huh.
Well, Calkin said he wasn't sure. What makes you so certain?
Come over to the fireplace. I want to show you something.
Okay. Now, what is it?
Look. A lot of papers have been burned here, see?
Yeah?
But it must have been a rush job, because a large envelope hadn't been properly pushed into the fire, and I managed to rescue it before all the contents were burned.
Swell. Well, what was in it?
Here, wait a minute. Here it is. Take a look at these, Chief.
Photographs. A heap of them.
Right. Recognize the subjects?
Let's see. They look familiar, but I don't quite place them.
Well, this one's Luigi Renassi, and the other is Salim Shah.
Hey, that's right. The delegates to the World Peace Organization.
Exactly. Also, they're the two men whose names Bucky Taylor's father mentioned to the boy just before he died, when he started to tell Bucky about the man without a face's plot against the peace organization.
Yes, I remember, but...
Now, notice how many photographs there are of each man, Chief. Dozens of them. Taken from all angles. Some taken on the street, some going in and out of stores, speaking at the peace conference, and so on. Now, that indicates that for some reason, somebody must have been following Renassi and Salim Shah with a candid camera.
So what? What are you getting at, Kent?
Just that now I'm surer than ever before that these two delegates, Renassi and Salim Shah, are the keys to the plot against the World Peace Organization.
Oh, nonsense. Renassi and Salim Shah are two of the foremost leaders of the World Peace Movement.
I know that.
Everybody knows that.
Well,
they wouldn't be involved in any plot to wreck the organization.
Very true, but they still...
Then stop wasting time.
Look, I've gone over this house with a fine-tooth comb as carefully as possible, and there isn't a single clue to Lois and Bucky, or to the man without a face to be found, except these photographs.
What do you mean by except these photographs? They're no clue.
Oh, they certainly are. They're our only clue, Chief.
Well, how do you figure that?
Look, I'm convinced that Luigi Renassi and Salim Shah are the keys to the plot engineered by the man without a face, and that they, and only they, can lead us to Lois and Bucky.
So, help me, Kent, I think you've lost your mind.
Why?
Well, you just admitted that Renassi and Salim Shah couldn't possibly be mixed up with a scoundrel like the man without a face.
Right. That is not to their knowledge. But perhaps without their knowledge.
Well, what kind of double talk is that?
Now, look, I've got an idea, Chief. It's a pretty wild one, I'll admit. But if it works out, we'll find Lois and Bucky. Come on.
Where?
To the Federal Investigation Offices.
As Clark Kent and Perry White leave for the Federal Investigation Offices, the man without a face, who, as we know, is really Count von Luder, is with his two middle-aged, distinguished-looking henchmen, Bergson and Milch, in a magnificent house on a huge estate, only a few miles from the house they so recently departed.
This is a fine place, and excellently secluded, Count. Who owns it?
An American friend of mine. One of the men who are supporting my efforts to wreck the World Peace Organization.
Oh, I see.
Tell us, Count, are you planning then to go through with our plan at once?
Of course, Milch. Everything is ready. There is no time to lose.
But the police know now that you are Count von Luder.
Yeah, and they traced us to the house in West Acres. They may soon even trace us here.
Not until it is too late, Bergson, I assure you.
But how can you be certain? They must even now be searching for Miss Lane and Bucky Taylor. Should they discover a clue to us...
Don't worry. I was careful to leave no clues behind. And do not be concerned about Miss Lane and Bucky Taylor. They will be discovered eventually. But it will be too late.
You mean they are to be done away with, Count?
They will be put out of the way tonight, together with the real Renassi and Salim Shah.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight. At this very moment, Renassi and Salim Shah are attending a dinner and reception at the American State Department. When they leave or when they reach their homes, whichever moment is most appropriate, they will be seized quietly by our agents and brought here.
Ah, good.
They will then be immediately disposed of, and masks made of their faces for you, Bergson, and you, Milch, to wear when you attend the assembly of the peace organization tomorrow, as Renassi and Salim Shah.
Good. The mask is all I need. For 2 years I have studied every mannerism and trick of speech of Salim Shah, and we are of a similar stature and age. Listen.
Gentlemen of the World Peace Organization, my government has just cabled me alarming news. I'm advised that with the full knowledge of certain delegates here, enemy troops have massed on our borders. Furthermore, they are known to be armed with atomic weapons. Therefore, gentlemen, I tell you the peace organization is a failure and a farce, and I have been instructed to withdraw my country's membership.
Wunderbar, Bergson.
Thank you.
Well done, Bergson. You sounded exactly as Salim Shah. Now, Milch, let me hear you as Renassi.
Gentlemen of the World Peace Organization, I, Luigi Renassi, have also received a communication from my government advising me that early this morning foreign planes appeared over our capital and dropped atomic rocket bombs.
Here!
Delegates of the offending nation sit here today in full knowledge of that fact, but they have kept slyly silent. Therefore, gentlemen, my government not only withdraws from the World Peace Organization, but authorizes me to announce a declaration of war upon the two offending nations.
Wonderful, Milch. With the mask of Renassi, you would fool his own mother.
Thank you, Count.
Our speeches will be bombshells in the organization assembly, Count?
Yes, the delegates will be at each other's throats. Then will follow other declarations of war, and the World Peace Organization will be split asunder.
And a general war will follow.
That is my fond hope.
Then, while the other nations destroy each other, Germany will rise again.
Exactly. It is midnight. Our time is at hand, gentlemen. Tonight, in a short while, we strike.
Fortunately, we've got plenty of time, Chief. Morgan says the reception won't be over for an hour.
What reception, Kent?
The State Department party.
Oh.
See, both Renassi and Salim Shah are there. I want to be there when it breaks up and they leave.
Why?
Oh, it's just an idea that I'm counting on to lead us to Lois and Bucky Taylor and to the man without a face.
I wish I knew what you were driving at. I'm worried, Kent.
Oh, relax, Chief. If my hunch works... Great Scott.
What's the matter?
Well, that clock on the bank we just passed, it said 10 minutes past midnight.
Wait till I see my watch. Yeah, that's the right time. Well, what about it?
What about it? Well, my watch stopped.
What?
That means the reception is over.
Well, it's only 10 minutes later.
Driver, stop this car, quickly.
Okay, mister.
What's the matter with you, Kent?
Plenty. The reception was over 10 minutes ago. Renassi and Salim Shah may have left.
Well, what if they have? Kent, wait, where are you going?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Chief, let go of me, will you? Every second counts.
Nothing doing. I won't let go until you explain yourself.
But look,
Don't
Chief,
give me an argument. Just tell me.
I've got to get Superman.
Superman?
Yes.
Well, how do you expect to do that?
Well, I
think you're out of your mind.
Oh, Chief, don't you realize...
I realize that you're trying to brush me off, and by George, I'm not going to let you do it.
Okay, you win, Chief. Now, get set for the shock of your life.
Well, what do you mean?
Forgive me, I hate to do this, but it can't be helped. Oh. Poor guy. It really did hurt me more than it did him. Well, I'll just set him back in this cab. There we are. He'll come to in a few moments and be sore as a boil. Take this man to the Daily Planet, driver. Okay. Now to duck into this alley and out of these clothes. Only Renassi and Salim Shah haven't left the State Department yet, because I'm sure I can only find Lois and Bucky through them. There we are. All set for a Superman job. Up and away! Well, there's the State Department building, and it's dark. Down to that police officer. Down!
What the...
Pardon me, officer.
Jumping to a hospital. It's Superman.
Yes, I'm sorry to startle you, but I see the reception at the State Department is over. Can you tell me when it broke up?
Well, let me see now. About 11:30, I'd say.
That's 3/4 of an hour ago. Now, tell me, did you happen to notice two of the delegates, Luigo Renassi and Salim Shah, in the crowd that left?
I'm sorry, Superman, but I'm afraid I wouldn't know the gentleman you mentioned.
You wouldn't, eh?
But if they were here, why, then they must have left with the others.
Well, I guess you're right. Well, the only thing left to do now is to check at their homes and hope they got there safely. All right, thank you, officer.
You're welcome.
Up and away! My name is Clark Kent. Doesn't Luigo Renassi, the World Peace Delegate, live in this hotel?
Yes, he does, Mr. Kent.
Good. Can you tell me if he's come in yet tonight?
Why, no, he hasn't.
Are you sure?
Positive. A telegram just came for him, and we tried his room. Also, his key is still in the box.
Uh-oh. This hotel isn't more than 10 minutes from the State Department, and Renassi left almost an hour ago.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Thanks very much. Well, I don't like this. Hope I'll have better luck at Salim Shah's apartment. Say Salim Shah hasn't returned from the reception yet?
No, Mr. Kent, he hasn't.
Do you know if he expected to come straight home?
Oh, yes, sir. The master always returns home immediately from any function.
I see. Taxi would have had him here over half an hour ago.
Beg pardon, Mr. Kent?
Oh, no, nothing. Thanks very much. Goodbye. Out of these clothes again. I'll just check the roads between the State Department and here for Renassi and Salim Shah. With both of them unaccounted for, this looks like a real job for Superman. There we are, all set. Now, up and away! Leaping high into the night sky, Superman streaks back over the road to the State Department. Then doubles back and rages over all streets and roads between the State Department, Renassi's hotel, and Salim Shah's apartment. But except for an occasional cruising taxicab or a home-going car, the streets are deserted. Beginning to like this less and less. Now my hunch says more definitely than ever that unless I find Renassi and Salim Shah, I won't find Lois or Bucky Taylor either. Until it's too late. I must find them. Away!
Widening his range, the man of steel swoops in great circles over the dark northwest portion of the city, his keen eyes searching, probing below. Then farther he ranges, out over the city limits, and beyond, to dark suburbs and open country. Like some great eagle, he flashes high to the sky and views the country below for miles away, then streaks downward to hunt above streets and houses and fields. Meanwhile, in a room of the large house now occupied by the man without a face and his henchman, Lois Lane and young Bucky Taylor, their arms wired behind their backs, their ankles likewise bound with wire, have managed to drag themselves to a kneeling position before a window. 4 stories below, they can see the moonlit driveway, which sweeps up to the massive house through acres of dark, spreading lawns and terraced gardens, backed by groves of woodland. Bucky breaks the momentary silence.
I'd like to see a couple of police cars roll up that driveway, Miss Lane.
While you're dreaming, Bucky, why not wish for Superman to show up?
Yeah, wouldn't that be swell? He'd take care of Mr. Man Without a Face and those other characters downstairs in short order.
He certainly would.
The only trouble is he doesn't know where we are, or the fix we're in. And neither do the police. Oh, gosh, Miss Lane, what are we going to do?
Oh, I hate to say it, Bucky, but...
Yeah, I know, we can't do anything.
Well, you heard the man without a face tell those others downstairs that his agents are going to grab Luigi Renassi and Salim Shah when they leave the reception at the State Department tonight and bring them here. And then they and we are...
Yeah, I know. Oh, gosh, it just doesn't add up. I dodged the Nazis all over Europe for 2 years, and then I come to America, and they get me.
Well, the man without a face isn't working only for the Nazis, Bucky. Selfish interests all over the world are paying him to wreck the World Peace Organization.
Oh, the dopes. Don't they know if there's another war with atomic weapons, they'll be wiped out, too?
Some people are like ostriches, Bucky. They bury their heads in the sand, and they won't see what's going on beyond their noses. Or their pocketbooks.
Yes, and we have to pay for it. Oh, gosh, Miss Lane, if there were only some way we could let Mr. Kent and the police and everybody else know what's going on here.
Yes, but we can't. Oh, if I could only get these wires off my hands. They cut into my skin.
Oh, it wouldn't do much good if we could get them off. We can't jump 4 stories to the ground, and that gang is all over the house.
I know. Look, Bucky. A car is coming up the drive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, I hope it's not...
It's stopping. We'll find out in a minute.
4 men are getting out. Can you see who? Look, 2 of the men have guns.
Yes, and wait. I can see the other 2 now.
Are they?
Yes. They're Luigi Renassi and Salim Shah.
Holy smokes.
The man without a face has got... This is what the man without a face was waiting for, Bucky. Renassi and Salim Shah will be killed now, and so will we.
I know, Miss Lane.
We've got to do something. We just can't wait here like lambs.
Oh, what can we do?
I don't know, but there must be some way. Wait a minute, Bucky. I've got it.
What do you mean?
That silver cigarette lighter on the coffee table.
What about it?
I could just reach it with my hands. Oh, darn, I missed it. There, I've got it.
Well, what are you going to do with that?
Start a fire, Bucky.
A what?
A fire. The window drapes will burn fast, and there's wood paneling on the wall. Oh, but look out now. I'm going to roll over to the drapes.
Well, wait. You don't know what you're doing, Miss Lane. You'll burn us up.
Maybe not. We're on the top floor, and a big blaze might attract attention and bring some people here.
Oh, but gee whiz, Miss Lane.
Now, the drapes hang down to the floor. That's one break. If I can just work this lighter. Oh, dear, it won't light.
But, gee, Miss Lane, I don't think
Would you rather just wait here for the man without a face to finish us, and Renassi and Salim Shah and the peace organization, too?
Well, no,
there.
But...
It lit.
Roll away, Miss Lane. The drape's caught.
Yes. Now, if only somebody sees the fire. It's our only chance, Bucky. Our only chance.
2 delegates, Renassi and Salim Shah, to be done away with at once. And masks are to be made of their faces. You understand, Begson?
I understand, Count.
And tomorrow, when you and Milch attend the Peace Organization Assembly wearing the masks of Renassi and Salim Shah, the cleverest federal investigator will never suspect your true identities.
That is true.
Go now and attend to the men of peace. We have no time to lose.
One moment. What about the newspaper report on Miss Lane and the boy, Bucky Taylor?
I shall attend to them myself at once.
Good.
I have an old score to settle with young Taylor, and... Wait. What's that?
What?
I smell smoke.
Yeah, so do I.
Come with me, Bagson.
Look! The hall is full of smoke.
It's coming from upstairs. Grab that fire extinguisher on the wall and follow me.
The fire is out, Count.
Good. So, Miss Lane, you set this room on fire hoping to attract outside attention, eh?
Yes. I thought it was a good idea at the time. It looks as if I was wrong, though.
You were very wrong. Whoever attempts to interfere with me makes a mistake.
Hitler said something like that. Look what happened to him.
Come, Count, we waste time. You said yourself there was much to do yet tonight.
That is true, Bergson. Give me your revolver.
Here it is.
Oh.
Now, Miss Lane, you and that stupid boy there, Bucky Taylor, will die for it.
Superman!
Now, Mr. Man Without a Face, let's make you the man without a gun.
I'll kill you first.
You'll never kill anyone again, Count Von Luder.
Martin,
Try these sleeping pills, boys.
Oh, Superman.
There.
You got here just in time. He was going...
Yes, I know, Miss Lane, I know. Say, what's the matter with Bucky?
He was overcome by the smoke,
Oh.
poor kid.
Well, I'll get these wires off both of you and then get you outside.
Oh, wait a minute, I forgot.
What?
Renassi and Salim Shah are downstairs. The man without a face captured them and
Well, don't worry about them. Everything's under control now. There. You and Bucky are free. Now, up with both of you. I'll take you outside and then clean house. Up and away!
The man without a face was going to finish Renassi and Salim Shah and make masks of their faces. And then tomorrow, 2 former German Gestapo men who've been training for years to impersonate them were going to appear in the World Peace Assembly wearing masks of the 2 real delegates and make a series of false charges that would just split the organization.
Great Caesar.
It was a clever scheme that would surely bring on another war.
It certainly was clever, Clark, and it would have worked if not for Superman.
Thanks, Lois.
What?
Hmm?
What did you say?
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, thanks to Superman, the man without a face and his gang are now behind bars.
Yes.
Yes.
And Bucky Taylor is safe at last. Poor kid, he went through an awful lot.
Yes, he certainly did.
Yeah, he's a fine boy, and I'll make it up to him.
Well, I'm
Good
sure you
for
will,
you.
Chief.
All right, now let's stop gabbing and get to work. I'm holding the first page for your story, Lois. 3 full columns, and give it the works.
Will I? What a scoop this is, and it's all my own.
And now, Kent, I've got a special assignment for you.
Oh, good. What is it, Chief?
Well, as you know, Superman has been a tremendous force in combating intolerance and bigotry. A tremendous force.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks for what?
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the memory. It's the name of a song.
Honestly, Kent, sometimes I think that you're... Oh, never mind. Now, as I was saying, in honor of Superman, I'm going to devote all of next Sunday's magazine section to the story of one of his most exciting adventures.
Oh.
And I want you to write it.
Hey, that's a tall order, Chief.
Tall or short, I want it done. Dig back into the files. Select what you think is the most interesting Superman story and have it on my desk for Thursday morning.
Now, let's see. Superman's most exciting adventure. Well, here's the account of the battle with the Atom Man. That was plenty unusual. And here's the story of the lost civilization. No, it's too long. Oh, say, wait, I know the one. Now, let's see. It should be in this bound volume. Oh, here somewhere. Yes, here it is. Sure, that's the story, all right. If any adventure could have been more unusual, more interesting, and more exciting, it hasn't happened yet. Yes, I remember it all now. Chief and Lois and I were out at the time. As Jimmy Olsen told me later, he was sitting at the desk here in my office when suddenly Beanie, the office boy, came in.
Hey, Jim, there's a goofy guy outside. He says he wants to talk to Superman.
Superman?
Yeah, how do you like that?
Well, what'd you tell him?
What could I tell him? How do I know where Superman is? Do you?
No,
Well, anyway, I told him everybody in the editorial department was out except you. So he says he'll talk to you.
Well, what does he want?
Don't ask me. Looks like a fugitive from a nut factory. He's wearing shorts and sandals, and he keeps eating some kind of red beans or pills out of a bag.
What?
Says if he don't eat them, he can't keep his feet on the ground. He says he'll float up in the air. He's a character.
Oh, you're crazy.
I'm crazy. How do you like that? Wait a minute, I'll call him in. This way, mister. Now you'll see for yourself. This is Mr. James Olsen, one of our reporters.
The pleasure is mine.
Huh? Oh, yeah, but come in. Scram, Beanie.
Should I close the door?
Yeah, from the outside.
Okay.
Now,
They call me Antha.
Antha?
Yes. I have come here to... Would you mind if I sat in this chair?
No, go right ahead.
My thanks to you. If I grip the arms of the chair with my hands, I am less likely to float up.
Float? In the air?
Yes. You see, the gravity of the Earth is so far different from that of Utopia.
Wait a minute.
What's it different from?
Utopia, the planet from whence I came. And until I can adjust myself to the Earth's gravity by means of these specific gravity beams which I swallow at intervals, it is advisable for me to cling to some heavy object such as this chair.
Oh, yeah?
Perhaps you will permit me to prove that what I say is true and factual. Look at me, my friend.
Okay, I'm looking.
What would you say is my weight?
Well, you're about average size, a little on the skinny side. I'd say about 165.
Your estimate is quite close. My weight is actually 10 utopian grams. That is equal to 163 Earth pounds. Now, my friend, do you believe you could lift 163 pounds with one hand?
Are you kidding? I couldn't do it with two hands.
Would you rise, please? Come around the desk and grip my arm.
What for?
Have no fear. No harm will come to you. It is simply an experiment to prove that I speak the truth. I will show you how, due to the difference in gravity between your Earth and my planet, you can lift me high in the air with one hand.
This I gotta see.
Very good. Now, grip my arm.
Like this?
Oh, that is fine. Now, lift me up.
Lift you up?
Yes, do not strain. Merely lift, as if I were that pencil on the desk.
Are you kidding?
Try it, my friend. Lift me.
Okay, but this sure is the crazy... Leaping lizards. I am lifting you. And you're light as a feather.
Thunderstruck, Jimmy Olsen's eyes popped as he stared in dazed bewilderment at the full-grown man he was holding high in the air as easily as he would hold his hat. Unable to believe his eyes and momentarily struck dumb, Jimmy could only gasp like a fish out of water.
Who is this strange creature who wears shorts and sandals, who calls himself Anthar, and who claims to come from an unknown planet, Utopia? Fellows and girls, Clark Kent has chosen this curious adventure as one of Superman's most unusual and most exciting. And Clark Kent should know. So don't miss a single thrill-packed episode. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for episode 2 of The Mystery of the Lost Planet in The Adventures of Superman.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, The Adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, gang, do you know the only cereal that goes snap, crackle, and pop when you pour on milk? Why, Kellogg's Rice Krispies. Sure, you've seen those famous little elves snap, crackle, and pop in cartoons and on the Rice Krispies package. And you've heard these golden bubbles of oven-popped rice sing out at breakfast time. That means that they're crisp as can be. So have yourself a bowl full tomorrow morning. Ask Mom for the one and only snap, crackle, and pop cereal, Kellogg's Rice Krispies. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.